seems the only thing left is well for me. Feel for me in these last moments of time.
Yo, what up, everybody?
Life, running through the world with the steam. The plan set for the team we complete. I thought it never happened like this. I'm on first.
What's good, y'all?
Besides my old earth, my crew's all I trust in this world. Seeing hate through the eyes of peace and sharp. Running up in your spot, you cruise down out of luck. I'm hot to for rap things, living in dreams, speaking crazy. Into the eyes of a soldier of war. Been through so many things, open my eyes.
What up?
Weakness, my fears lost in the streets of hell. Rise from the fires of political warfare. Deep in the eyes of a soldier of war. Been through so many things, open my eyes. Showing no signs of weakness. My fears lost in the streets of hell.
What up, Angelo? What up, Jamar? What up, Jaime? What up, T-Heim? What up, Donovan?
In the long times that I was brought up to be a soldier, fake fast, survive off my own back. Trust the turkey getting whacked. Now,
Anna Marie, I see you.
We're just waiting for everybody to come in here, man. You know what's good? It's a good day, man. It's a good Saturday. You guys having a good time? What's everybody up to, man? What's up? Where's everybody from? That's where we like to start this joint off.
Let's see where everybody's from. Let's pop off. Let me see. We got NYC in the building. Okay, we got Miami, Houston. Okay, the Philippines, Hawaii. I see you, Jeremy. Okay, ATL, Shawty, VA, Albuquerque in the house. Tucson, what up, Donovan? Josh, Georgia. Brooklyn, Zoo. All right. What up, Toledo?
San Francisco. Damn, bro, this is like crazy. We got people from everywhere, man. So, guys, you already know the drill. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be dropping some exclusive sales training. We're waiting for the homies to hop on, guys, so just make yourselves comfortable and play some music for a little bit. You guys get yourselves hyped up. Make sure you got your notepad. Make sure you got everything that you need. We're going to be getting this thing kicked off in about 5 minutes exactly, man. So, you know, wherever you're from, I want to see you represented. I want to see you stand up for your city, okay? So drop that shit in the comments and let's make this thing happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to get this rolling in a couple moments. This is going to be recorded.
together to remain on detail for whatever. Pull myself together to face the world. It's just the image in the mirror. I feel it all.
Check your phone. Check your phone too for Andrea.
Keep me, make me into something nice. It's so good though, cause I can play low for a while, deal it down. Then I will surface like a serpent.
Yeah, on point, y'all. I'm so excited. Big Superhuman family. Any other Superhuman family in here? Harley, Welcome to the building. Frank, what up, Frankie?
Yeah, you're good.
Into the eyes of a soldier of war. Been through so many things, open my eyes, showing no signs of weakness. My fears lost in the streets of hell. Riding for the fires of political warfare.
What up, boy? That's you, King. What up, Bobby Mount Vernon?
My eyes showing no signs of weakness. My fears
What's up, bosses?
Riding for the fires of political warfare. Deep in the eyes of a soldier of war.
It's going to be recorded.
Open your eyes.
Request it. We'll be able to get access for it.
RG style life, representing Temple, be ready. Diamond, Big Trev, RG son.
Okay.
In the past, get irritating. Rappers couldn't be more favorite.
What's up, Marshall? Marshall Ray, I see you.
I laugh a little at those who got booed and showed losing those.
Yo, I'm so excited for you guys. So excited for you guys to lock in. We got some fire, some heat for you today.
Reincarnated in another city.
Got Houston in the house. I see Milwaukee. Bob, be safe out there. Ready representing.
You probably need a script to come up with. It's 71.5. Check it out now. It's 75.5. Check it out.
What up, Keith? Who Keith? Let's play Diddy.
They in the house. The crowd gets loud enough to give me hype with the enjoyment. Desires to fireworks.
2 minutes, we'll be on. 2 minutes, we'll be on. Yeah. That's Joseph. That's the Close Olympics. Fresh off.
Questions at the crowd to see who represent what. Gang wild, we put aside the beauty Chicagoans. We follow in the footsteps of Sean.
Yeah. Oakland in the house. What up, kid? Wholesale Mastery. Dynamic family in the building. Yes, sir. Mark, you got the pen and paper. Get you ready, get your sponge on. One more minute. We're about to get the party started. Miami in the building. Just on Zoom, correct, Leanna? Just on Zoom. We're not sharing this on Facebook. For y'all who invested, y'all put that time in. We want to give you guys nothing but pure value, pure gold. That's what we're going to set up with.
Yeah, man, we doing this for y'all, man. This is all for y'all. We're going to drop these gems. We're going to have a good time. We already listened to some good music, and we just ready to go, baby.
All righty, guys. So excited to be here with my good brothers here, Elijah, Aaron, Keith, man. You know, it's so insane how all of this kind of just like, you know, we just came together and we made it happen, you know? So like, guys, this 2-hour sales training is literally for everybody who invested into themselves. We all know, guys, this was legit as expensive as like a night at the movies was, right? And let me tell y'all, man, we got so many people that we had such a high demand from this. We just had to come together and really build this out and really make this something special. So I'm going to pass the mic to my boy, Aaron Bevins. He's going to lay it out for you guys. We're going to pull out the agenda. Oh, okay. No. Elijah?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
go for it, brother. Go for it.
Yeah, so like as we said, we're super excited. I mean, this is, think about the 3.5 weeks ago, there was no Closer Olympics. You know, and almost a month later, us four came together, and we literally, with you guys, with all 1,000+ of you guys, and have 200 people on here now, we shook up the industry. We shook up the industry in the middle of a pandemic. There's 36 million people unemployed. We got people rioting all around the country. A lot of things are going crazy. And we were able all to band together, make history, help improve skill sets, help see who's the king closer of the year. And more importantly, help us all grow together. So super grateful for everybody. Super grateful for you guys taking your time, believing in us, believing what we're doing, and showing up and showing out. Man, I got people tagging us. People been showing us they're using the skill set, showing us the notes again. So we're super excited to really bring this training to you guys. We want to give you guys some tangible skill sets, things that you guys can apply to your businesses today and see the impact, start closing more deals, generate more revenues, improving your sales team, and just getting more value out of this. So that's what we really want to make sure we bring to the table. We want to make sure if you guys can, please turn off all distraction, all phones, turn them off, let people know you're going to be tied up for the next 2 hours. You're locking in here with the 4 horsemen. You're locking in with us. We're going to give you guys nothing but value. We want to make sure we give it. And make sure you guys stay till the end. All right, stay till the end. We have a special gift that we're going to be taking care of you guys, all that's on here. 200+ people. We want to make sure we take care of you guys. Give you guys a special opportunity first before anybody has access to it. Stay here till the end. We got some big announcements we're going to be mentioning. People have been reaching out to us. We said, for you to find out, you got to be here. You got to be here. You got to lock in here. So, with that being said, without further ado, I want to bring in my guy, Aaron King, Pastor Bevins himself. All right, let's go, sir. Let's let him know. Let's let him know what's up, sir. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing. Can you hear me, big dog?
Woo! I hear you, boy. I hear you, boy.
Yo, we got some nuggets. We got some nuggets for y'all. We're gonna do our best to stay within time. However, I want y'all to know, just as Elijah said, we have so much value jam-packed into the short amount of time that we have together. So I'm not even gonna do no fluff. I'm gonna hop right in this bad boy. The theme of my portion of this sales training falls in the category of this question right here. Do you know the difference between what you are and who you are? Now, in case you're wondering, yo, number one, what the heck does that question mean? And number two, why are we asking this question to pop off a sales training? Well, what we found, y'all, is that successful sales training cannot fully encompass the full framework of sales unless it incorporates some form of mindset, some form of identity, some form of self-development. Why do I say that? Well, listen, sales is a people game. You don't do sales over the computer. Or to a computer, to a software. You don't do sales to the actual product. You do sales with the people that you're dealing with for your product and or service, right? So self-development and who you are here will determine the quality of conversation and communication you can have with the people outside, right? So in order to work on outside and improve outside, we got to focus on in here. So it's not enough to just talk about techniques, tips, methods, strategies. If those things, if we taught you all of those things, but the makeup of your mind isn't correct, guess what? It's not going to work anyway. Darren Hardy said it best. He said, you can upload a software onto a messed up hard drive. If the hard drive is messed up, guess what? The software, no matter how fire the software is, it's going to be buggy. It's going to be glitchy. It's going to be all messed up. And here's what most people do, y'all. They say, oh man, that software don't work. Man, that program doesn't work. It's all messed up. No, you got a messed up computer. You need to fix your hard drive, right? So we're getting this started off. We're getting the sales training started off by saying, okay, let's focus on the hard drive first. I'm still going to drop some sales nuggets on you, okay? But let's focus on the hard drive first, okay? That way, everything that you hear subsequently from this point forward, right? It's going to fall on ears that can handle it. It's going to fall on a mindset that can handle it. All right. So in order to do that, we got to answer this question. All right. First of all, do y'all understand what I'm saying? Can you put in the comment section, whoa. If you understand what I'm saying, put whoa in the comment section. If you're already with me, if you're already engaged, if you're feeling the energy and the vibes, put whoa. All right now. All right now. All right, let's run it. Let's answer this question. Do you know the difference between what you are and who you are? So what do the R and I stand for? The R stands for role. And let's go ahead and move me to the next slide because we're going to make this thing happen. All right. Let's actually start with the I. Let's start with the I. The I stands for your identity. All right. Your identity is your self-image, how you see yourself, your self-worth. Okay? I know what you may be thinking. Yo, what does this have to do with sales? I promise you, if you don't get started here, everything you hear subsequently is not even going to matter, okay? Your I is your identity. Your identity is your self-image. That's how you see yourself, your self-worth. Now, when I say how you see yourself, I'm not talking about the reflection in the mirror when you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth. I'm not talking about that. Your self-image is what you really think about yourself. Now, I saw a lot of woes in there, so I'm imagining that y'all are with me 100%, so I'm going to get a little deep, okay? I need for y'all to put on your scuba equipment. We're going to go a little deep, okay? Let me ask you a question. Who are you? Like, who are you? Now, the first inclination to answer that question may be, my name is John, or my name is Aaron, or my name is Susie, or my name is Chris, or my name is Jack, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about your name. I'm talking about who are you? Are you your hands? Are you your body? Are you your brain, your ears? Like, who actually are you? I'm going to take you a little deep, okay? How is it that you can close your eyes right now? If you're with me, I need for you to just do a quick exercise with me because we're going to go deep, okay? Close your eyes right now, and I want you to picture the person that you love most in this world. Are you doing it? Eyes closed. Think about the person and look at their face. Now I want you to imagine the face they make that endears you to them. Is it a smile? Is it the way they crinkle their nose? Is it their dimples? Is it their freckles? Is it their hair? Is it the twinkle in their eye when they're asking for something? What is it? Can you picture it in your head? Let me ask you a question. How is it that you're able to see that person's face and you don't even have your eyes open? Isn't that crazy? Now we don't have to do this exercise because we don't have enough time, but I'm gonna have you imagine it again. I want you to imagine that you're in the middle of a forest and you hear the most blood-curdling, blood-chilling scream like a woman is being murdered. You're in the middle of the forest. Can you hear that scream? How is it that you can hear that scream, imagining it, but you can't really audibly hear anything? It's because you are more than this body and these hands and your hair and your face and the reflection in the mirror and your voice. You are more. You exist in your mind. You occupy this body. That's why we don't say you are a body. You have a body. You aren't your eyes. You have eyes. So who is you? You are, and listen, I don't care where you come from or what your beliefs are, okay? I'm going to take it here. It says that you're created in an image of a creator, okay? So even if you don't, I just need for you to follow me, okay? I just need for you to follow me. Now, if that creator has the power to create and grow and do all of these amazing things, and you're made in that person's image, then what are your limitations? What are your limitations? Here's the answer. You don't have any. So what is your identity? What's your self-image? How do you view yourself? So many people view themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, 5 or lower, because they mistake their identity for their role. So let's go into role, and I'm gonna tie these together, okay? Your role is the mask you put on to perform tasks through life to accomplish your goals. Now, mask is not a bad thing. We all have them. Okay, I'll give you an example. Quentin Flores is a dad. He's a CEO. He's a brother. He's a son. He's an uncle, right? Keith Everett is a wholesaler. He's a rehabber. He's a business owner. You see what I'm saying? He's a fiance, soon to be husband, right? Elijah Rubin is one of the illest hosts in the game, baby, right? Those are roles, though. So when I say mask, I'm not talking about being hypocritical. I'm talking about, hey, these are masks or hats that you put on to fulfill certain tasks that you have, because Quentin has a goal to make sure that his son David is taken care of and has the best life possible. So guess what? When Quentin puts on dad mask, he talks different. He moves different. He responds different than he does when he puts on CEO mask. You see what I'm saying? Than he does when he puts on husband mask. You see what I'm saying? That's a role. That's a role. Now watch this. Watch this. You must not confuse your identity with your role. And if you do, you're setting yourself up for incredible disappointment in life and incredible failure. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Okay? And that's where this third little point, we see that where that question mark is, where the guy is hiding his face like this. If you can understand the difference between your identity and your role, you'll always be able to control your state of mind. And if you can control your state of mind, you can control your outcome. I'm going to bring it all together, right? And this is going to go into some sales nuggets, okay? Watch this, all right? If you can come to grips with the fact that your identity, that means strip away every single role, dad, husband, mom, wife, cook, CEO, business owner, employee, take away every single role, and you're standing in the middle of a small little island, alone, naked, all right? How would you view yourself? I think a lot of people would be surprised to strip it all away and say, man, if I took away all my roles and said, man, how do I just view me? they actually may be surprised that, man, your self-image, maybe it's not as high as you think. Maybe you might be thinking that you're, out of a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 3 or 4. Because you're judging yourself based on your role, and maybe in your role, you did something you shouldn't have did. Maybe in your role as salesperson, you lost the sale. So if you lost the sale, you view yourself as a 2 because you lost the sale. Maybe you scored a 0 at the Closers Olympics. Maybe you scored a 0 and your hero, Max Maxwell, gave you a 0 at the Closers Olympics. So what's that mean? So you go home and view yourself as less than? No, you as a person, remember how you're created. Remember the image you're created in. Remember your power to close your eyes and still see. That's crazy. You can stop up your ears and still hear. That's crazy. You have the ability to imagine a goal and then create that reality. Bring it to fruition. Keith Everett's done it. Elijah Rubin has done it. Quentin Flores has done it. They've actually imagined numbers and brought those numbers into their bank account. That is called creation. You're made in the image of a creator. So on a scale of 1 to 10, your identity is a 10. And for all 260 people who are on here right now, your job from this point forward is to persuade yourself constantly that you are a 10. Now, I'm not giving you a rah-rah speech just because I'm speaking passionately. Listen to what I'm saying. And this is the best analogy I ever heard. A seed is not the final product, okay? But let's say you have a rose seed. It's not the final product. Now, would that seed rate itself anything less than a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10? Because here's where people mess up. They say, man, I could never be a 10 because 10 means perfect and you can't improve perfect. And I got a lot to improve and a lot to work on. So I'm a solid 5, 6, or 7. I'm doing good. No, that's not how it works. You can improve perfect. You can improve perfect. All perfect means is that it's suitable to do what it's supposed to do. That's it. So you can improve it. So you have a seed, you plant it. Within that seed is everything that's needed to be a rose, but it's not a rose yet. So less than a 10? Oh, it's everything it needs to be a rose. The seed dies, a stem starts to break through it. Is that stem anything less than a 10 because it's not the final product? No, it has everything in it to be a rose. It's still a 10, but it's improving, it's improving, it's improving. So your job from this point forward is to convince and persuade yourself that you are a 10. Your identity is a 10. Now, why is that so important when it comes to controlling your state? Because not because you have a bad day as a CEO, not because you lose a sale, not because you have a situation where the seller gets the best of you, where the buyer gets the best of you, and you didn't do the best in sales, means you got to feel like you're a 2 or 3. If your identity is a 6, even if you perform at a 7, you're going to come back to a 6, and you're never going to perform higher than a 6 consistently. You have to improve your identity and how you view yourself. If you do that, then your ability to perform is going to be conducive and it's going to correlate with your identity. All right? Improve your identity, your role will come up to your identity. All right? Everybody understand that? Let me get a whoa. Get whoa in the sections if you understand that. If you understand that, whoa in the comment section. Shout out Black Rob. Real ones understand. Real ones understand. All right. So you see how that allows you to control your state. All right. Let's move on to the next slide because I gotta wrap up. All right. So check this out. I know this is an ill slide, but the points I'm about to drop on you are even iller than that. Okay. So you see this picture of this cat on the left. All right. Shout out millennial entrepreneur. Notice this quote right here. It says, temperature may change, but the thermostat sets the default state inside. So what does that mean? The heck does that mean? All right. I'm going to explain it and I'll show you how this applies to sales. In the end, we have the option to be emotionally a thermostat or a thermometer. What are you? A thermostat or a thermometer? If you look at the thermometer right here, the thermometer is that picture in the middle, right? All a thermometer does is respond to the environment outside. That's all it does. That's what a thermometer does. A thermostat sets the temperature inside. Feel me? Everybody got that? Thermostat responds to the temperature outside. Thermostat sets the temperature inside, regardless of what the temperature is outside. So if you keep your identity at a 10 and you daily persuade yourself, convince yourself, tell yourself, I'm a 10, I'm the best to ever do it. I'm one of the illest in the game. I float like a butterfly, I sting like a bee. Man, that man ain't got nothing on me, right? That's all he was doing, right? He was a thermostat creating and setting the tone inside. Now, watch this, watch this. No matter what happens outside, that means you lose a sale, that means you lose the negotiation, that means something, you have a bad day, your partner quits on you. If you are a thermostat, that means you're constantly reminding yourself who you are, why you're here, what your purpose is, why you got to keep grinding, why you got to keep doing this. This is who I really am, right? You control the state inside no matter what's happening externally. You got riots going on in Minnesota right now, right? You got whole movements that are happening. You got a lot of ugly things happening right now. That means nothing when it comes to what's in between your two ears and your mind, y'all. Now, if you allow yourself to be a thermostat, guess what that means? You're going to be responding to your external environment. That means you lose a sale. Sometimes that's beyond your control, y'all. Sometimes that's beyond. You saw what happened to Diddy. You saw what happened to Diddy. That was beyond his control at the event. So if he was a thermostat, man, the whole event he would have quit, but he wouldn't even be here by now. But that's not the way Diddy operates. He's a CEO. He's a thermostat. He sets the temperature. So if it's 20 degrees outside and you want to be at 74 degrees inside, you open up the window and it gets cold, that's okay. You can't control that, right? The house can't control that. But what's going to happen is the thermostat is going to respond. It is going to respond and it's going to fix it. That's the default state. That's your identity. All right. That's the default state. All right. That being said, if you can do that, y'all, if you can do that, you can always go into your negotiation, into your conversations with the proper mindset. That's going to allow you to get your conversations off to the right footing. If you can do that, everything that you hear from Quentin, Keith, and Elijah from this point forward is going to rock your world and it's going to change your business on a whole nother level. Are y'all ready? I'm going to share this with y'all real quick. Let's go. Let's go. So I'm already a beast. I'm telling myself I'm a beast. I'm going into my conversation now. As I go into my conversation, I'm going to build a little bit of rapport. Now, I'm only going to share principles with y'all because I only got like 2 more minutes, y'all. I'm just going to share some principles with you. But take a picture of this, screenshot this. You can utilize this on your appointments. You can utilize this on your conversations over the phone, whether it's a warm, cold, or hot lead. Okay? So you built a little rapport, all right? And rapport doesn't take a whole long time, y'all. You don't have to be 10 minutes on the phone building rapport. If you can do that, do it. But if it's a quick cold call, rapport may be something as easy as Mr. Seller, let me ask you this. Have you had your coffee yet? Had your coffee yet, Mr. Seller? I hear a dog barking. What's your dog's name, Mr. Seller? One or 2 questions like that. Boom, boom, boom. A quick little connection. Maybe that's all you need for rapport sometimes. All right? All right, boom. You've established a little bit of rapport. You're going to go into your upfront agreement. Now, what's the purpose of the upfront agreement? The whole purpose of the upfront agreement is to set the stage for the rest of your negotiation. You have to be prepared in every good negotiation to do some sort of dance. That's back and forth. That means you have to be prepared that whenever you throw out your offer, the seller is not just going to automatically say yes. You know, whenever you go to close and set the appointment or try to move forward, the seller may not automatically say yes. So what you're doing here is you're setting the stage, right? You're setting the stage, the framework to control the conversation without being a douchebag. All right. So you build a little rapport. You're starting off with the a ton strategy. The A stands for appreciation. It sounds a little something like this. So first off, Mr. Seller, I just want to say I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I know your time is important. You can say this however you want, y'all. I'm just giving you kind of a framework. This is the skeleton. You got to put your own little flesh and personality on it. The T stands for typically. Sounds something like this. Typically, these conversations last about 15 to 20 minutes. The O stands for obviously. Now, obviously, I'm going to have some questions for you. You're going to have some questions for me. And you're going to have some for me before moving forward. The N stands for naturally. And naturally, if it makes any sense for us to do business together, you know, we'll set an appointment for me to walk the property so I can make you a cash offer. Fair enough? Now, here's what's so powerful about this. Again, y'all, you can do or say this however you want. But if you do something similar to this, it's allowing you to set the framework for the conversation so you can control it and always have something to default back to, okay? So let's just break down why it's important to do these 4 steps, okay? Number 1, with the A, you're letting them know, I respect you because I'm calling on your time. I'm already establishing that I recognize your importance. And guess what, y'all? People need to feel important, right? One of the illest closers of all time said this. He said, you need to imagine that every person that you communicate with has a big sign on their chest, on their forehead, say, make me feel important, make me feel loved, make me feel heard, okay? So that's what the A does. Mr. Seller, let me just start by saying, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I know your time is important. All right. The T is establishing a time frame so you're not 8 minutes into your conversation and seller is like, yo, how long is this gonna last again? Right? You're already letting them know. Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna have some questions for you. You're gonna have some for me. Before moving forward, it's number 1, letting them know. I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? So this doesn't have to feel like, it doesn't have to feel like a negotiation. I'm letting you know how the conversation is going to go. I'm going to have some questions for you. That's what's going to happen. After you agree to this, I'm going to have some questions for you. But it's also letting them know, look, this is a safe place. You can feel free to ask me questions as well, all right? N stands for naturally. And naturally, if it makes any sense for us to move forward, we'll set an appointment and I'll make you a cash offer. Fair enough? Now, what that's doing is you're letting them know, if it makes sense for us to, if we're a good fit, I'm going to be asking for something from you. And in this case, it's an appointment. This is what my company does because I don't close over the phones. I don't close contracts over the phones. So if you're somebody who's virtual, if you're virtual and you do close deals over the phones, then your naturally may sound a little different. Your naturally may sound something like, naturally, if it makes sense for us to do any business together, well, I'll go ahead and make you a cash offer and we'll move forward with the paperwork. Fair enough? See, this is just the principles, y'all. You could flex this however you want. Okay. But what you're doing is you're letting them know what your end objective is before they get off the phone, before you get off the phone. All right. And here's what this allows for, y'all, because I'm getting ready to wrap up. Here's what this allows for. If at any point throughout the conversation, you get to where you need to ask a question or do something to advance the conversation and get you closer to an appointment or a contract, and they pull a, oh no, thank you, I don't want to set an appointment. Now you can play the victim role and refer to your upfront agreement. You can say, oh snap, I'm sorry about that, Mr. I hope I didn't do anything to offend you, but in the beginning, I mentioned that if it made sense for us to do business together, that we would go ahead and set an appointment to walk the property. And now you're saying that you don't want to set an appointment. I'm just a little confused. Is there, did I do something wrong or what is it? Now you can find out whether the person, they were pulling your leg the whole time. Or maybe they're just not ready to sell. Or maybe you need more rapport. Maybe they need to feel more cuddled. Or maybe they just needed a question answered. Mr. Seller, I'm confused. We said if it made sense for us to do business together, that we would set an appointment. And I just asked you how much you want. I feel like we're in the same ballpark. I'm just confused because, we said that we would do this and now you're saying you don't want to set the appointment. What's wrong? Well, what I really want to know is X, Y, and Z. And boom, you find out what's holding them back. Boom, you set the appointment. See? So this upfront agreement is going to set the framework for your entire conversation. Now, when you go back to almost every single of the callers, except for the trash ones in the Closers Olympics, all right, what you're going to notice is that all of the skilled closers, every single one of the skilled closers, oh, dang, my bad, y'all. I had some technical difficulty. I'm going to keep talking. What you'll notice is what all of the skilled closers did was they set the upfront agreement in some way, shape, or form. It may have sounded a little bit different from this. It may have been different words. It may have different inflections in the voice. But they did something similar to this in some way, shape, or fashion. So before I leave off, I'm gonna run you through the whole a ton strategy, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up, lace it up, and then hand it off to the next real one who's gonna be hitting y'all with some gems. All right, so I established the person wants to sell. I was just calling about your property at 123 Main Street. Just want to see if you're interested in selling. Yeah, I've considered it. Cool, awesome. I hear a dog barking in the back. Susie, is that your puppy? What's his name? Or what's her name? Sandra. Oh, awesome. Well, give Sandra a rub on the head for me. I appreciate that. So Miss Susie, before we hop in the car, I just want to let you know and watch how we run into it. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I know your time is important, Susie. Typically, these conversations last about 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously, I'm going to have some questions for you. You're going to have some for me before moving forward. And actually, if it makes any sense for us to do business together, we'll set an appointment for me to walk the property so I can make you a cash offer. Fair enough? All right. And by the way, y'all, the question, fair enough, I don't know what it is about it. The question, fair enough, is so powerful. I don't know what it is, but it is such a powerful question. All right. Just like that. Then once they say fair enough, or yeah, that's fine. All right. Boom. You now go into qualifying. All right. So quick recap so I can lace this bad boy up. Before even focusing on implementing the techniques and gems that these OGs are about to drop on you between Elijah, Keith, and Quentin, all right? Before we even get into that, all right? Identity and role. Understand the difference, all right? Your identity, that's who you are. Your self-image, how you view yourself. And it is your job from this point forward to convince yourself, to persuade yourself that you are a 10. You are made in the image of something incredible. Your limitations are non-existent. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You are the next millionaire in your family. That's your identity. Your role is simply the masks that you put on every day to get stuff done. All right? Get stuff done. Understand the difference. So if you have a bad day with one of those masks, that has nothing to do with your identity. You understand? All right. Now, with your identity at the proper state, even if you're the worst cold caller, negotiator, closer in the whole game, it will eventually creep up to where your identity is. Conversely, if your identity is low, you might have all the talent in the world, but guess what? Your role as a closer is eventually going to come down to your identity. So make sure that that's on point. With the proper identity and right state of mind that you're controlling, you can go into each negotiation using your upfront agreement like a beast. So that being said, I am simply a rookie in the game. I give all the kudos and credit to where credit is due. One of the illest to ever do it, somebody who's done way more than me in this business, somebody that I personally look up to, somebody that I say, man, he may not even realize that he's actually mentored me just by looking off of the things that he does, is my guy, Keith Everett. We call him Real Estate Diddy. He's in the building. He's going to drop some nugs on you. My guy, Diddy, are you live?
Yes, sir, man. I'm getting ready to drop some crazy nuggets. I want to say this real quick, Aaron. I really appreciate it, man. You actually got my mindset right. And, man, we needed that, man. I needed that. You know what I mean? I'm never too good, to listen, never too good to learn. And I hope everybody on here right now feels the exact same way. real quick, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off my guy Aaron real quick. If you ready for the 3 most important things in the real estate business right now, let me get a whoa. We're gonna stick with the whoa today. Let me get a whoa. If y'all ready for the top 3 things that's been helping us in our business, that's very, very extremely important. I'm gonna go through 3 slides, but I can guarantee you these 3 slides is gonna be very, very important. So let's get it, man. I want to dive right into it. I hope everybody been having a wonderful weekend. The Closers Olympics was a massive success, and we getting ready to give you guys some stuff that you can continue to walk away with. All right, let's get it. All right. The first slide is closing all parties. Listen, guys, this right here, especially during COVID-19, is extremely important because a lot of people have to be on the same page right now. If the sellers are not on the same page right now, guess what? They're not going to sign the deal. So let's go through it real quick. All right. Ask about all decision makers at the very beginning of the conversation. Listen, before you go into the property condition, before you start talking about price, before you even start talking about how quick they want to sell, you need to ask the seller this. Hey, Mr. Seller, real quick, before we start talking about the property a little bit more and get into the condition and great things like that, let me ask you this. Is there any other decision makers that's on the property with yourself? I just want to make sure I'm not stepping on anybody else's toes right now because I totally understand if they're a decision maker, you're showing them the proper respect, and I want to make sure I'm doing the same thing. So, guys, before you get into it.
Let me hop in real quickly just on that one second. Real quick, because this is what cost me the finals right here. So please understand, this part right here, that Diddy's going over, cost me the finals. I'm on a phone call with the lady. I see in the notes that it's her dad's property. I spent too much time building rapport, and I did not get down to the bottom line until it's too late. I was halfway through my call to ask you, can you even sign the contract? She can't even sign. She had to call her dad, and by the time I got on the phone with the dad, I was already working another lead. So please, don't cost your championship. Don't miss on those leads. Please make sure you pay attention. What Diddy's saying right here. Thank you, Diddy, for making sure you bring this to the table. It cost me with the finals.
Man, I'm glad you shared that, man. That's like, and seriously, man, this is very, very important. I know it's very simple, but trust me, man, my guy Elijah, he did great. My guy was in the championship round. A small tweak up of closing all parties could have pushed my guy to a whole different level. But guess what? You guys get to learn from that mistake here today. So let's keep it pushing. All right, remember, before you get to the property condition, ask about all parties. Second thing, only give a price range if all important parties are not present. So if you don't have all decision makers right then, when you're on the phone, you need to just give them a price range. Never give a hard offer without all parties involved that's agreeing on the price for you. What do I mean by that? If somebody say, hey, they looking to get $50,000 for the property, and you want to be between 40 and 50. 50 may be almost a number that can work. But you want to give them a price range of 40 to 50 before you commit to 50, because now they may say, hey, listen, I still need to speak to my husband and wife or speak to my realtor. So do not do that. Make sure you only give them a range if all parties are not present. Another thing, before making a hard offer, I want you to gather all decision makers either on the call all together, or you need to gather them all in person together. Because you got to think about it. You will not get a deal signed if all the parties are not on the same page. Think about what's going on right now with COVID-19. This is the best time right now to make sure that everybody's on the same page, so that way that you will have less worries in your mind as well. Trust me, this has worked extremely well. I'm telling y'all. All right, let's go to the next slide, guys. Let's keep it rolling. What is the second most important thing right now? Negotiating. Let me ask y'all this real quick. How many people on here right now know that negotiating properties, negotiating a good price right now is very important during these times? Drop a whoa right now. If you know that negotiating is one of the top 3 things that you got to master right now, drop a whoa. Like my man, like Aaron said, my man Black Rob, like whoa. Because guess what? If you can't negotiate, they're going to go to another person, just like the 4 horsemen right here. Like, whoa, it's going to be like, whoa, they're going to get on and move on straight. So let's get it. So negotiating. First thing first, You want to gather the seller's pain, and you want to get a detailed property description. How can you negotiate correctly if you haven't even asked them the question, what's the reason that you're looking to sell? And not only that, you need to ask them, how long this been going on? How can I help? I mean, do you see it getting any better or getting any worse? I mean, how would it feel if I was able to put you in a new situation? I mean, what's your ideal situation? You know, think about it. You know, if I was able to get you the price that you wanted, I mean, what will hold us up today? You got to know the seller's pain before you can ever start negotiating. Second thing, you need a detailed property description. I've been getting on my team about this. They come with prices. They come with situations. But what's the condition of the property? How many bedrooms and bathrooms does the property have? That's very, very important. Another thing, let's keep it moving. You need to know multiple streets. You need to know multiple streets and schools in that area. Because think about it. If you tell the seller, hey, yeah, I'm familiar, the property is right up the street from Roosevelt High School. Guess what? They're going to automatically put you in, they're going to look at you as a pro. They're not going to look at you as a rookie. When you start naming streets and different schools and stuff like that, guess what? They're going to know that you're a pro. They're not looking at you like you're somebody don't know what you're doing. So guess what? You pulled the paint out. We got a great property description. Now we letting them know about the different streets and schools in the area that they in. All right, let's keep it moving. Give the seller the as-is comps. Never be scared of that, right? And I want to tell y'all something real quick. Stop making this mistake. Never give the seller the exact price that the property sold for, because you put yourself in the box. If a seller say something like this, oh, or if you tell the seller, I see this property sold for 95. How can you get the property for 90? It's going to be kind of tough, right? That's pretty tough. Give them a price range. If a property sold for 92, another one sold for 101, say, hey, I see properties in your area selling anywhere from 90 to 100,000. That way they don't know where you fall in, right? That's very, very important. Another thing, the low versus high box-in strategy. Listen, I know not a lot of you guys be like, how do you negotiate right? This is what I do. If you need to get the property at 60,000, right? And you're looking at the comps and they're lower than 60,000, right? And they might be in worse condition, or they may not even be lower than 60,000, but you need to do a price anchor first. What I do is this. Hey, Mr. Seller, I mean, I know you're looking to be at, I know you're looking to be at 70,000 right now. You may need to be at 60. The seller want to be at 70. I know you're looking to be at 70,000. I'm gonna be honest with you. I see properties in the area, they're selling anywhere from 40 to 50,000. The seller may lose their mind. Oh no, I need to be at 70. I totally understand, Mr. Seller. You didn't let me finish real quick. I see properties selling anywhere from 40 to 50,000. Listen, I'm sure we both can agree that your property is a little bit better condition than those properties, right? But let me ask you this. It's going to be tough to do 70. I'm not saying I need to be at 40 to 50, but if I was able to walk into the finance department, grab a couple of my partners, and I was able, to cut renovation costs somewhere, and I can even pull some extra funds out of my pocket, do you think you can at least, meet us in the middle somewhere, maybe around 60 to 62,000 cash? But you cannot drop the price down with a seller if you don't throw that first price anchor, because you need the seller. When you say 40 to 50 and they start going crazy, guess what that does? You reset the seller's expectations to what they thought the property was worth. No matter how mad they get, it doesn't even matter. If they get mad, all you need to know is I reset their expectations. All right, so that's the low boxing strategy. What about the high? So what if cash buyers buying properties for 100,000, and the seller say, hey, I seen a property across the street sold for 92. You know what? You're right, Mr. Seller. I did see that property that sold for 92,000. And I know that you're asking for around like 92,000. But I do want to mention this. That property that sold for 92 across the street, did you know the condition of the property? I know that seen that property did have a fresh new kitchen and bathroom. Not both bathrooms, but one of the bathrooms have been renovated and the kitchen's in pretty good shape. I know that you said that you need to update your kitchen and bathrooms as well, correct? Knowing that this one sold for 92 and you're asking for 92 and this one got a new kitchen and bathroom, honestly, man, what do you think your property is worth? But you got to give them a reason. You can't just drop numbers and never give them a reason. It don't work that way. Let's keep it moving. All right. So you want to get a price out the seller first. You know, bring up the pain, the property condition, bring up your benefits, and then ask them, what do they feel the property is worth, or what are they looking to get for the property? Considering that you're ready to move on to bigger and better things, I know the property needs a lot of work. I mean, I know you're not willing to put in the work for the property. And I know that the last tenants, they messed the property up. You just want to move on to the next situation. I mean, I totally understand that we buying it in as-is condition. That's something we do every day. But let me ask you this. If I was able to pay cash, take care of closing costs, and you don't have to worry about the property anymore, I mean, what do you think is the absolute best you can do on it? That's how you try to get the price out of the seller. Now, if the seller don't want to give you the price, guess what? You can hit them with this. This is something new I've been doing. I ain't even got this on here. I'm giving y'all a new exclusive. This is only for y'all, though. Tell the seller two things, right? Say, hey, Mr. Seller, I look at two different type of properties here. We pay two different type of prices. I'm looking at properties that's been brought up to 2020 standards, and they've been totally renovated. And I'm also looking at properties that's selling as-is condition, similar to the property that you have. Knowing that it's two different prices going on in your neighborhood, one is 2020 standards and the other one is as-is condition. I mean, considering the condition your property is in, I mean, which category would you put your property in? I just want to make sure I get you the correct price. So guess what? Think about it. A lot of you struggle with trying to get them off retail. Make it make sense. We're looking at 2020 standard properties and we're looking at the as-is condition properties. What category do yours fit in? Make them tell you. And then if they don't want to say that, then you can tell them this. I mean, if I was to give you $1 million, I'm sure you'll probably take it, right, Mr. Seller? But if I said $10,000 right now, I mean, let's be honest, you'll probably hang up on me. So if you know what you would take and you know what you absolutely wouldn't take, then you got to have some type of price in the middle that you want for the property. I'm not asking you for a hard number right now, but I'm just saying I just need you to work with me a little bit. I'm the relationship person in the company. My partners, they're all about the numbers. You know, I need you to help me work for you. See what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving. All right. If you can't get the price out of the seller, I want you to use that. Give the seller a price range if you can't get the price out of them, right? Always use your partner as leverage, as a finance manager, finance department, et cetera. All right. When you're making that final offer, guys, I got to wrap this up. When you're making the final offer, I want you guys to start using the closing cost close. It's the closing cost box in strategy. If you ever want to get the price down $3,000 to $5,000 off rip, I got something for y'all right now. First thing first. Hey, Mr. Seller, I totally understand that you wanted to be at 85. I mean, I went back in the finance department. I got two different prices approved for you. This is when you absolutely can do the price, when you finally negotiate the right price. I know you said you wanted 85. I actually went in there and spoke to the finance department again. I got two different prices approved for you. The number one price is this. The first price is the $85,000 that you're asking for. I absolutely can do that as long as you're willing to pay the closing costs. Or I can either do $82,000 and I'll take care of the closing costs and all fees that's associated with the property. I mean, both of the prices are approved. You just need to let me know which one do we need to go with. Guess what? If you already brought the pain out, it works every time. I haven't seen it never works. If you already brought the pain out, guess what? They're going to choose the 82. They don't have money for closing costs. Closing costs typically $1,200 to $1,500. I'm totally fine if you're willing to pay that. I just need you to let me know. I just want to make sure we secure the funds for you. Don't budge on it, though. It got approved already. Ain't no budging going on, right? So, guys, I want you to remember that. And then after that, make sure you create urgency to close the sale. Guys, I got to hurry up. I got one more. It's going to be real quick. I'm going to keep it very simple. I don't got to dive too deep real quick. But guess what? Let's go to the next slide very, very fast. This last slide is this, guys. The third top thing, the thing that's important right now. It's the seller holdback. Listen, when you close, it's when you close on a property before the seller moves out and you hold back a percentage of the funds. Guess what? It's COVID-19 right now. A lot of people need your help. People like you guys right now, they need your help. So if a seller needs 30 days to move out, guess what? They may not have no funds to move to their next destination. So all you got to do is get you a cash buyer, right? Have them agree to the holdback and tell the cash buyer, hey, we would like to close on the property earlier than 30 days because the seller needs some of the funds to be able to move into their new destination. But this is what we want to do. I know we are at $80,000, you know. Mr. Seller, let me ask you this. What if I was able to give you $70,000 in 2 weeks instead of 30 days, and then we hold back, you know, 10,000 of the funds until you all the way moved out of the property? I just want to make sure that we're able to get you to your new destination, but at the same time, I mean, we got to hold back some of the funds, and once you move out of the property, the title company will release the rest of the funds. Guys, that's very, very important. If a seller say I need 60 days to move because guess what? I don't have nowhere to go. Send one of your realtors over there. And then guess what? Do the seller holdback. But make sure before you do a seller holdback that you got to get the buyer to agree with it. Some buyers will agree with it. Some buyers won't agree with it. Guess what? If you really need to close on that property, and let's say you make it $10,000, you can absolutely, instead of doing a seller holdback, if the seller don't want to do it, then do a buyer holdback, where the buyer hold back 2 to 5,000 of your funds. You still get 5,000, and guess what? You still can close on the property. And then once the seller is 100% out of the property, the title company released the rest of your $5,000. That's how you make it work with everybody. And guys, I hope this was fire. Listen, drop a whoa if this was very valuable. I really hope you guys understood what I'm saying right now, because this is not stuff that we're just saying. This is everyday tricks right now. I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on these 3 things. We're talking negotiations, seller holdbacks, and make sure you close in all parties.
Yo,
Yes,
my
sir.
guy,
Yes, sir.
Keith. Yo, my guy, Keith. Real estate Diddy in the building, going crazy, going ham.
I thought y'all lost me, man. I ain't know y'all. Hey.
Hey, bro. Hey,
I appreciate
Keith.
it, man. Hey, we're gonna keep this thing rocking and rolling.
Hey, Keith, it was Phil, my man Phil Dill. He's in the comments, and he was like, "Hey, how much to hire Keith to come run my calls?" And I put in the comment section, I was like, "Listen, I tried to hire him, and I tried to hire him myself, and Keith told me I couldn't afford him." hey, you're a real one, man. Thank you for dropping that fire.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Hey, Phil Dill, I appreciate it, man.
Alrighty,
Let's keep it going.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all, this next gentleman who's going to be dropping some major nuggets on you has been in the game over 15 years. Well, he's pulling up on the 2-decade mark. He's already seen a recession. The dude has already learned so much in his experience. You may be able to go back and see in archives. I don't know if the joints are still there, but you could go back in archives and you could see over 500 videos of this dude closing live. We know him as the fire damage king. I call him Elijah. Each one reach one, each one teach one. Not a guru, but he's definitely a duru. Mr. Elijah Rubin, you have the stage, man. Please bless the people, my friend.
Wow. Thank you, young king. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you guys. Real quickly, like before I get started, if you guys have questions, make sure you put them in the Q&A box. We will be doing a Q&A after this. We want to give you guys nothing but value, real deals, real things that's really close, real deals. So let's get into this. Before I get started, shout out to all my guys, Joswell, Adam. I see all my guys, Malik, all my Tactical Thursday guys. I was making 100+ Facebook Live calls. Shout out to all you guys supporting me throughout this journey. Before I get started, if you guys ready to get started, you know what I need to see in the comment box? Let me get A. Throw me some A's. AYE. Throw your boy some A's. Let me get A. Come on, y'all. Let me get that A. Let me feel that A. There you go. I see Renee. I see Kwai. All right, Kelsey. What up, Josh? Let's go. All right, let's bring this to the table. So a lot of you guys know, after closing 750+ deals over 16 years, all right, you know that I dealt with thousands. I took hundreds of thousands of no's, all right? So after taking hundreds of thousands of no's, I want to show you what I've learned along this journey so you guys could cut the curve and execute that much better. So like myself, like Q, you guys know, I'm really good with building rapport, able to connect with people like instantly. I want to show you some techniques that I pay attention to. And like I said, by you implementing this, you will see a sharp increase in sales. I'm talking about 15 to 25% increase in sales if you work on the best rapport. If you don't build rapport, all the other techniques mean nothing because they're hanging up on you. All right. So let's get busy. So right when you get on the phone, ring, ring, ring. All right. Most people don't want to talk with you. So let's just start there. So make sure you guys are doing your pre-call affirmations. Pre-call affirmations. If you text Elijah to 59224, put that in the chat box, somebody for me. Elijah to 59224. You'll automatically get my pre-call affirmation text to your phone, or a gift to all of my Closing Olympic family here. So make sure you're in the right mindset, because these people aren't going to be nice to you. So just accept that you're working, all right? It's not always be fun. So most people don't want to talk with you. So you realize you only have about a 5 to 10 second window. That window is pretty small. You only have a 5 to 10 second window. So I want to make sure you realize that going into this. Hey, how's it going? They're already calibrating. Do I know you? Why are you on my phone? So just be aware of that, because if you're not aware of that, if you think somebody's going to have all the time in the world to talk to you, and you get hung up on, and then you're depressed, you're out there smoking 5 cigarettes before you get on the phone, you're never going to get through the amount of calls you need to get deals. Let's get it. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is what you want to do. So this is specifically what you want to do. You want that vibe that you're a long-lost high school friend they haven't talked to in a while, right? They haven't talked to you in a while. And what you want to do, you want to have a certain type of energy, depending on what type of style you have. Steve Train could even do this. A lot of other people, even if you are more cool, calm, and collected, you still want to bring a little bit of energy and voice inflection during a specific time. Because if you're, hello, yeah, is Mrs. Smith there? Click, you're getting hung up on, all right? So you want to bring a certain little bit of energy. I'm going to give you a sample of how it should sound. Second thing you want to do, you want to always make sure you call them by their first name. High school friends don't call you by your last name. The only people who call you by your last name are people who do not know you, all right? Salespeople, sales calls, politicians, and these are people who do not know you. So make sure you use the first name. Use the first name. And then always assume that you're speaking with the seller. Don't ask if is Mrs. Smith there? Is Jamie there? All right, assume you already talked with them. Assume you already talked with them, all right? So the way it should sound, let's bring it on home. Let's bring it on home here, right? So, hey, how's it going, James? Yeah, oh, this is not James. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Smith. I'm sorry, can I talk to him for a second? Do you see, she doesn't know if I'm a friend, if I'm a high school buddy. Last thing she's thinking, I'm a sales call, because I'm assuming it's him. Knowing I heard a girl's voice, I'm still gonna use the name, let her say it's not him, and then let me get him for you. All right, so that's one way. You just turn that 5 to 10 second window, you just open it up to 15 to 25 seconds, all right? You buy yourself 10 more seconds so you can step through the window and get yourself closer to the sell, all right? Boom, let's move on to the next portion here, all right? So I got a lot of people hitting me up over this. This is what you have to have, a certain level of confidence to execute on this, all right? So I understand it's not for everybody. However, if you've seen I use it during the Closing Olympics, when you go back and watch the replay, watch how I open people up. Watch how this works. Shout out to Chris the Shark too. Last year, I hosted his Accelerator 2.0 event, and I heard him say this. I started implementing it. I started closing more deals. So if you guys are able to utilize this, it will work for you too. So when you're on the phone with them, hey, so you talking, Mr. Smith? Yeah, so yeah, following up with the property on 643 East Bellevue Road. So what I catch you doing over there? All right, so what you're doing, so it takes a little bit of confidence to do it. I get it. Who the hell are you to be asking me what I'm doing? I don't even know you. What you doing calling me asking me what my day is? How do you even get my number, right? So that's what most people think of, and that's why I don't even attempt this technique. I promise you saw how effective it was. So this is what this does. This question allows you to have instant rapport. And now you're immediately best friends right out the gate if they answer. If they don't answer, then you know you're dealing with a different type of personality. You might be dealing with a high red, high D. They're not trying to have the cuddle, cuddle. They're not trying to have all. You got to get right to it. Hey, we're following up with you because X, Y, Z. Let's talk about your property. You might have to move to it a lot quicker, but at least you are diagnosing the personality type within the first 15 seconds. Over 15 plus years of making phone calls, I could diagnose the personality I'm dealing with on the other side of the phone within 15 to 20 seconds to know which one is the right pivot. This little technique right here will immediately allow you to know if you're dealing with somebody you need to be more quicker, more frank, more straight to the point with, or somebody who could build with that rapport, who wants to connect with you, who you could get your can opener and open them up. Type can opener for me. Can opener in the comments, y'all. Can opener. Let me get that. I want you guys to hit that can opener. I want you to open them up. You got to open them up because people do business with people. People don't care what you know until they know how much you care. All right? So make sure you hit that can opener, all right? So if this is done right, you're going to invoke the confidence that not only you're easygoing, but you've done this lots of time. Only person who's going to say, hey, so what I catch you doing over there? You have to have a little bit of chutzpah, a little chutzpah for my Jews out there, a little chutzpah to you to be able to say, hey, I'm asking how you doing. If they tell you what they're doing, they're more inclined to follow your lead as you brought the defense mechanisms down. If they start telling you, oh yeah, I'm over here. Remember you telling me I'm making me some breakfast over here. What you made for breakfast over there? You saved me a plate? Ha ha ha, now we're going to the chuckles. Now we're going to talking about it. These are the little things that make big difference. These are subtle things that's going to allow you to take that 15-second window. You're bumping it up to 30 seconds. Now you're in there. Now you're talking about who did you used to watch cook? Was it your dad or your mom? Now we're talking about his parents. We haven't even talked about the house yet, but I'm connecting with them instantly within that first 2 minutes. All right, boom. Thank you for moving that over to me. All right, so what we're doing here, this right here, this joint right here, this ish right here. Oh, you guys heard? If you guys saw my 100 plus consistent closing calls on Consistent Closing Facebook group, you've seen how many times I use this. You saw me close a live deal in front of everybody using this exact technique, made $22,000 in front of everybody, right? So,
real quick, Elijah, I hate to interrupt you real quick.
Please.
No, that's the 100 plus calls. The repetition is the reason why you was in the championship. So let them know that, man. It's not a joke. It's
Absolutely.
serious.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. I mean, having the fact you get all those reps in, because what do they say? How you prepare in private will determine if you'll ever be praised in public. All right, making these phone calls, doing the role playing, practicing this technique I'm about to walk you guys through. The word for word language I'm using is going to put you in a position not only to control the conversation, but to take command of your sales ability and your sales career. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. No, let me go back. Go back one slide for me. All right, good. Thank you. So we're using this is some slight NLP, neuro linguistic programming. All right, I'm giving you guys some slight NLP here. And so what we want to do by you using this testimonial technique here, all right, and what you're doing, you're getting to agree to do business with us before we finalize the price, okay? Because once they mentally committed to providing you with the testimonial letter, you just increase your odds of them being compliant with you to sell the property, all right? So you're doing some foreshadowing, some pace setting. I'm saying something up front, and I'm going to be able to lock them into the backhand. If they said, yes, I'm going to agree to do business with you before you even discuss price, do you think you're going to close some more deals? I think you are. All right, so let's get into the exact word structure. If you guys are feeling me, I don't know if you guys are vibing with me. I think maybe I should just wrap up. Maybe I should wrap up. You guys throw some A's. Let me get some AYEs if you're feeling this. Let me get an A. Come on, y'all. Throw me some A's. Throw your boys some A's if you're feeling it. All right, let's get into this. All right, thank you. I just want to make sure I don't lose you guys. Word for word. Don't try to make the remix. All right, this is words. Don't try to remix it out. All right, this is word. Directly, word for word. All right? So, Mrs. Clients, assuming we agree to the right price that works for you, it works for me, we sign contracts, we open up escrow, I communicate with you throughout the whole process, we close escrow. 30 days after the money has been wired into your bank account, there's one thing I'm going to ask for in return, and this is the only non-negotiable item, See, I'm pausing. Because I'm pausing, I'm building up the climax. You're like, oh crap, what is this? I don't want to blow the deal. Man, I thought he's gonna really buy it. What is this he's gonna ask for? Crap. You have them on the tip of their seats waiting for you, but you gotta pause, because that pause is evoking confidence and the climax, all right? So the one thing I'm going to ask for is once you confirm all the funds have been wired into your account, is that you send me a testimonial recommendation letter stating that you was pleased with the results I provided you, and that you would refer me to other people for the future. Is that something you could do for me? So is that something you could do for me? And so that's why I'm gonna run that back here, because we had a little pause. I'm gonna run that back. All right. So what we're saying is this: by you going through this process, I'm doing some advanced NLP here. All right. So what you're doing, you're saying, assuming this all works out, we agree to a price, and I'm walking them through the process. Because I'm walking them through the process, I'm laying out mentally what's about to come. I communicate with you the whole process. We close escrow 30 days after money's been wired into your account. By you saying 30 days and the money's wired into your account, what happens is they are expecting the money's wired in the account, and they're doing association of money transfers into the account. So pain is being removed, pleasure is being recognized, and associating that with you. All right. And so 30 days money's wired into your account. The one thing I'm going to ask for in return, and it's the only non-negotiable thing. By me saying non-negotiable, like crap, you're building up like the climax that you know what you're doing. You've done this before, and now you're controlling the situation. And then you bring it in so easy that the only thing I'm going to ask you, that once the funds have been converted in your account, that you're pleased with the results, that you provide me with the recommendation letter. Is that something you could do for me? And you say it with you shaking your head up and down. I see some of you guys are saying, yeah, I could do that for you. That is what I'm talking about. I have a whole wall full of testimonial letters, because anytime we start getting a disagreement, this issue with me showing the house, the issue with closing costs, something came up on title, I'm able to negotiate, talk about it, and always bring back, hey, I don't want anything to jeopardize my testimonial letter, okay? And so this is something super crucial, super powerful. I promise you, add this to your repertoire, your closing sequences, you and your acquisition teams will start seeing a great return. Plus, as you start collecting these testimonial letters, when somebody says, why should I do business with you? I tell them, I don't want you to know why you should do business with me. I'll show you my testimonial letters and let them tell you why you should do business with me. How's that sound? Yeah. So the next slide, please. Okay, so what we're doing, like I said, like you painting the picture that everything's going to work out perfectly. You're going to handle everything and communicate through the whole process. Because think about, I'm identifying the pains, their internal conflict. I'm identifying that, hey, don't worry, everything's going to work out. Money's wired in your account. I'm going to communicate with you throughout the process. So I know you don't have a realtor. You only maybe sold a house or two. Don't worry about it. The title company's going to handle things, and I'm going to be in communication throughout the whole process. All right, and then they get the mental picture that they're associating with you, that the money's going to be in place, that you're going to handle everything. And because you're getting a micro agreement, and I'm really big, if you go back and listen to my calls, I got probably about 8 to 12 micro agreements before I started digging in about the property, before I started digging about their pain. I want them to get associated to say yes to me. Does that make sense to you guys? Type yes if that makes sense to you guys. If this what I'm saying makes sense, type yes for me. Throw yes in the chat box. See, now you guys are saying yes. See how it works? You see how you want to get those micro agreements, get those yeses right. And then what you want to do, as you get those mental agreements and you're starting to see what happens, you are going to start noticing that you're getting better rapport with them, that they trust you more, and that you're getting more deals closed out. Go ahead and hit the next one for me. Oh, I got one other. So this deal, real quick before I wrap up here. This right here, I've easily closed over $50 million worth of transaction using this one technique here. All right, so let's recap what we talked about today. All right, I want to recap, bring it back home. Let's bring it back home. All right. So first, like I said, you're building that rapport. You only have 5 to 10 seconds. Make sure that you have that vibe. Hey, how's it going, Quinn? Yeah, I wanted to follow up with you. How you doing? What I catch you doing over there? Do you see the tonality? You see that this is, hello, Mr. Smith. I'm calling about your house 123 that me and my investors were looking to buy properties in this area. That joint is not flying. Now when you got 4.2 million wholesalers coming into the market every day using that same tired old script. All right, this is going to separate yourself. And then once you separate yourself, you have that 4 to 5 second window that opens up. You let them know, hey, what I catch you doing. If they open up with you, you're able to diagnose and start getting that can opener. You get them opened up. If they shut that down, they pivot right to the heart of the conversation. Let's talk about this foreclosure. Let's talk about the city violation, where you're aware that probably had a city violation. Let's talk about it as being a fire damage, all right? There's so many different ways you're able to go into it. And then after you go through them, after you go back and forth, before you get to the price, please make sure you use the testimonial technique. Use the testimonial technique. Let them know, hey, by all means, I'm definitely interested in buying the property. There's one thing I'm going to ask for, assuming that we agree on price. It works for you. It works for me. We get everything worked out together. We sign contracts. We open escrow. I go through the whole process. I communicate through the whole process. You feel super pleased with everything I did. You see, I'm dropping in these positive words. They didn't say this is going to happen, but I'm pace setting them. I'm dropping these anchors in their mind where they're associating with me. So yeah, so everything's going to be done right. It's going to be simple. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. Once the money's wired into your account, there's one thing I'm going to ask for. This is the only non-negotiable item. I'm sorry. This is the only thing I cannot go without. I'm sorry. This is a deal breaker. Is it okay if I share with you? Now that we're listening to you, great. So once the money's wired into your account, you're able to verify it, the headaches out of your life. I own the property. You own the cash. The one thing I'm going to ask for in return is that I can receive a recommendation testimonial letter saying that you was pleased with the results I provided you and that you refer me to somebody else for the future. Is that something you could do for me? If they say no, oh, you can't? Wow. Well, if I do a bad job, you can give me a bad letter recommendation, right? Ha, ha, ha. Great, let's move forward. And that right there, my friends, I closed easily over $50 million worth of transactions. Use that one technique. Please make sure you implement this. I'm giving you guys straight from the vault. Like I said, this is the way I've been able to stay 16 years in this game by mastering my craft and earning the skill set. Let's get it. One more time before you wrap up. Let me get A. Throw me some A's. Let me get A. Throw your boy some A's. Wrap up. Thank you, man. Thank you, William.
I love it. I love it. My guy, Elijah I. Each one, reach one, each one, teach one. The man himself, Fire Damage King. I love it. It's crazy because the Fire Damage King.
Hey, real quick, Aaron. Real quick, guys.
Ahead,
if y'all feeling this right now, I want you to tag the Closers Olympics right now. If y'all feeling this training, tag the Closers Olympics right now and let us know about it, man. We dropping them gems.
Yeah, make everybody jealous that they're not here because y'all are willing to invest in yourself. We are doing this for y'all as an added value for y'all because we appreciate the fact that y'all are supporting our community. So go tag Closers Olympics, go tag us and show some love and support. We appreciate you, y'all. We really do. So with that said, I just want to share this with y'all really quick, y'all, because the energy is insane. We literally have hundreds and hundreds of people on this call right now. I'm hoping the server doesn't drop on us because we got so many people live right now. And so thank you all for spending a few minutes with us because we still got some more value for you. Okay, that being said, real quick before we get into our next joint, we got some more nuggets for you on items that you can utilize to help you close more deals and close your next one. I want everybody to know there is going to be a live Q&A at the end of this. So don't go anywhere because I've already seen a whole bunch of questions that people are asking right now in regards to sales, in regards to techniques, in regards to items related to 2020 Closers Olympics. So here's what I want you to do. There is either on your phone or on the computer, on your tablet, it don't even matter. There is a Q&A little tab at the bottom or the top of your screen. If you click on your screen, it says Q&A. You can go over there and put all of the questions in that Q&A tab, okay? You can do that, or you can hold your questions for the chat at the very end because we're going to be answering as many of your questions as humanly possible, and we really want to just make sure you get as much value as this time will allow us. All right, what up? Shout out to everybody that is in here right now showing us love and supporting the 2020 Closers Olympics because we are indeed making history. That being said, this next individual who's going to be dropping some sales nuggets on us is somebody who, beyond a doubt, we already know has put 210 on the map. That's the city that counts backwards. 210. That's the area code for San Antonio, Texas. This individual has made his first million in his 20s. In his 20s, made his first million. He's continued to do incredible things in this business. He brought me under his wing whenever I was first getting started, just a little over a year and a half ago. He's done amazing things for me. The only flips I've ever personally done have been with this man. I've done business with him personally, and so I appreciate everything that he does, not only for our local city, but for the wholesaling and real estate community as a whole. You may know him on Instagram as the Real Estate Monster, okay? It's been said that nobody in the city of San Antonio has ever consumed as many asada mini tacos as this man in one sitting, and he was on the news doing it. He's a beast. But they also say nobody has consumed as many wholesale deals in 1 month as this man as well. That's what legend has it as. I want to introduce you to the man, Q Quinton Flores, the Real Estate Monster. Q, are you in the building?
We can move it like this.
Sorry, guys. I had to come into this song. That's my jam right there. I'm going to put it on a little bit later, man. Look, I don't got anything crazy inspirational to tell you guys. I love what I do. I love the real estate business. I'm blessed to be in business with these guys with the Closes Olympics. What we're going to be doing, I see a lot of people on here saying stop spamming. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. You're here. You're going to get the value. So the first thing that we're going to be going over, guys, is how to handle and crush objections. This is super powerful, man. This is something that not a lot of people do, right? So guys, I'm going to break down every single objection that I've ever thought of that you are going to more than likely get on the phone. These are things that I've personally gone through in my own business, okay? So guys, I'm going to jump straight into this. You guys ready for this? I want to see some comments over here saying that you are ready. Say, I am ready in the comments. Put it in the comments. Let's get this thing going, okay? So objection number one, right? This is a huge takeaway. This is something that every seller tells you. This is almost going to happen to you 90% of the time when you hop on the phone. They say, well, look, Quentin, I want to think about it. This is how you approach the situation. Look, Mr. Seller, I get that you want to think about it, but wouldn't you agree that two minds are better than one? Pause. Two minds are better than one, right? Notice how I said, wouldn't you agree? That's me bringing that person on my court. He's now on my side. I have my arm around this dude, and we're looking at his house together. Wouldn't you agree? Look at that, right? There's a psychological thing that you do when you say that, and you have to pause and pull away. Either one, they're going to continue to do business with you, or two, they're going to want some sort of assurance. Tell them that you pay closing costs. Tell them that you pay title fees. Tell them that you also pay commissions, that you cover everything that involves buying a property, okay? So guys, those are some of the things that I would do when it comes to I want to think about it. It's such a crazy question. You have to be able to pivot from that question by asking an open-ended question and then bringing them on your side, okay? Look, what is it specifically that you got to think about? Is it the contract? Is it the process? Are you unsure of me? Is there something about me that you don't trust? You see that right there? That is a positioning tactic. Now I'm making that person out to be the bad guy. There's a massive psychology behind that, guys. Is there something that you're unsure about with me? And I want you to sound offended when you say this, okay? So guys, remember that, all right? After that, offer your credibility. And we're gonna go into credibility here in the next one, okay? The second one, I wanna sleep on it. This is after they already said no to I want to think about it. All right, okay, well, now you want to sleep on it. Great. Look, I'll tell you what, and this is you. So you already planted the seed. The seed's been planted. Now it's time for you to nurture. You see what I'm saying? I'll tell you what, look, this isn't an obligation. I understand that you want to sleep on it. I totally get it, right? Let me send you an offer to your email. Give me your email address right now, or give me your mailing address, or I'll send someone over to your house right now. We'll leave a contract with you. I'm going to fill it out, and I'm going to sign it. I'm going to put a little letter on front that says, I hope that we can do business, and I want to give it to you personally. See that right there? The thing about it is if they're going to go and sleep on it, this is my takeaway. After they say, okay, you know what, sure, here's my email. All right, look, I'll tell you what. Sleep on it, put this right next to your bed, sleep next to the contract. I want to be the first call that you make when you wake up in the morning, okay? Like, I know you got to call your wife. I know you got to call your sister. I know you got to call your kids. You got to call whoever. Make me that first person, all right? I just want to be a priority for you because I'm making you a priority for me. You see what I'm saying? That's how you crush the I want to sleep on it, okay? There's so many different ways that you can go about doing that. Look, it's all different in other aspects, but those are things that kind of work for me, okay? This one right here is a big one. I have several other investors that will be looking at the property. Awesome. Most of the time when somebody says this, right, they already have someone who they have in mind that's going to buy the property. Look, let me tell you what, anybody's going to tell you anything. I'm not going to be one of those guys. What separates me from all of these other people is I want to know more about your situation, okay? Now, the takeaway here, right, they already said they have other people that want to take a look at this, right? Okay, great. Look, I'm going to give you an offer, right? But let me go above and beyond. These other guys are just going to give you cash. I'm going to give you a service. Look, I'll tell you what, I'm willing to pay the closing costs. If you need help finding another property, I will help you find that property. If you need help getting relocated, I have realtors that I work with. If you need help with the moving, I have a moving company that I can reference for you so that you can get exactly where you need to go. Now, all of this is speeding it up, right? Obviously, not every conversation, you don't want to edify all the value that you give, right? You want to be a servant first. You see what I'm saying? What makes you different from everybody else? Guys, let me tell you what, my name is Quentin Flores. I'm a real estate investor here in San Antonio, Texas. I've closed over a few hundred transactions in my time. But let me tell you what, let me show you exactly what separates me from everybody else. Do you mind if I get my escrow on the phone with us real fast? She'd love to speak with you. Now, at that point, they're trying to figure out what makes me better than everybody else. What makes me different than everybody else? They're really saying what makes you better than everybody else, right? Let me tell you what, I'm gonna get my escrow on the phone, right? I'm gonna get my escrow on the phone. She's gonna edify me real quick. So me and my escrow officers that I work with, they hate doing business with me because I bring so much relationships to the table. They love it and they hate it at the same time because my business has to be catered a little bit more, okay? So I tell my escrow, look, you know who I am. You know what I've done for this city. You know the work that I put into the sellers that I've closed to your title company. Let's get my escrow on the phone and she will tell you why I am different than the other investors. People don't want to hear it from you. They want to hear it from someone else. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I like Elijah's testimony skit. That was dope. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, guys, if you are watching this right now, you don't have an escrow. You don't have an escrow that you can depend on. Look, my sales manager, his name is Leonel Coda. His number is 210-782-0728, okay? I want you to put that number down. If you ever need somebody to edify you, let them know. Text Leon first. Say, hey, Q said that you can edify me. I have a seller on the other line. Leon will jump on the call with you and help you close the deal by saying that you've done business with myself, okay? So guys, use my credibility, use Leon's credibility in my office. Leon's facilitated over 20 deals this month. The guy knows what he's talking about. Text him first, okay? It's 210-782-0728. Text him first, okay? Now this is another one right here. If I can't at this price, if I can't get this price, I'm not going to sell it. Well, look, Mr. Seller, what exactly is your plan on this, right? Is there a specific number that you're looking for or a reason why you can't sell this right now? Pause right there. They're going to give you the whole spiel, right? They're going to give you the whole spiel. Look, I'll tell you what, right? If that number doesn't work for you, if you can't get that price, you're not going to sell it. Let me do this. Let me just go for it and call you back in 5 minutes, and I'm going to get back on the phone with you, okay? So hang up the phone real quick. Don't even let them say bye. Hang up the phone. Create a sense of urgency. Get in front of your computer. The same offer that you made, I want you to go for it and create a crazy amount of numbers that's close to that offer. For example, if your cash offer was 125 and you know your MAO was 135 and you're trying to make 10 racks, okay, then that means you have a 10K spread, right? Guys, do this and I guarantee you're going to get results. Call the seller back. Boom. Okay, now you guys are on the phone. Check this out, Mr. Seller. Look, I actually put pen to paper here, and me and my business partner, we went over these numbers, okay? So I am willing to give you $78,378.96 to the T if you are willing to move forward with us in a transaction today. And I'm willing to cover all the closing costs as well. We just spent 5 minutes in a huddle right now. This is the exact number to the T based on what you were able to tell us and the information that you provided. And I'm more than confident that we can close very quickly, okay? So what do you say? What do you say? Pause. You either got the offer or you don't, okay? Your price is too low. This one I always get. Well, hold on real fast. The price is too low. The price is too low. I don't think I wrote that one down. Okay, well, either way, if the price is too low, check this out. Put me in your pocket. Put me in your pocket, okay? I'm going to send you this offer anyway. I know it may not be what you're wanting. Look, I can't give every seller what they want. If I could, I'd probably be broke right now. So, and then laugh, right? Put some humor behind that, okay? Look, Mr. Seller, check this out. This is the exact amount of number that I was willing to give you, right? I'm going to send this to you in your email. All I ask is that before you make a final decision on what you're going to do with this property, that you make me the last phone call that you make, okay? Can you do that for me? If they say yes, boom. More than likely, they're going to call you back in 2 weeks and you're going to get the offer. I have no place to go once I sell. Guys, in this business, we're not just in the making assignment fees business or making a large chunks of money. The business that we're in right now, and can I get the next slide, please? The business that we're in right now is a service business. You have to be able to provide a service. What makes my company close so many deals every month, guys, is because we offer that. We love offering service. We love being people who are providing a real resource. We love being resourceful with our sellers. If you're going to make $5,000, even just $2,000 in someone's house, you can pay for their move. You can hire a realtor to find them a place to go. You can help them through the process. This business is all about serving. So remember that, okay? If you're going to make $30,000 on somebody's property, right? Understand this, that $30,000 needs to match your level of service. To the T, guys, to the T. So remember that. This one, I always do. I handle it the same way Keith does. I have to talk it over with my family. Okay, great. Let's get them on the phone. Look, the best way that you can get over that objection is by killing it before it's even born, right? Keith always says this. Look, before I even get into detail with this, are you the only decision maker on this property? It works wonders. It really does. If you get this objection, it's because you didn't set up the call to avoid that objection, okay? I'm not comfortable with the process / contract. Look, tell you what, let me get on the phone with my closing attorney. My closing attorney is gonna go for it and walk you through this contract to the T. Okay, this is the contract that we've used over all of the transactions that we've done. If you haven't done a lot of transactions, edify someone who has. Find someone like me, use me, say, yo, me and my partner Q, I don't care. As long as I don't get a random call, you don't give out my phone number, okay? But guys, if there's a process to the contract, don't make your contract 100 pages long. Make it simple and straightforward. In my state, I use the TREC agreement. It's 10 pages long. Sometimes the sellers are so scared to sign that contract, we have to resort to using a 2-pager. So remember that. Have a title company or a closing attorney who knows their shit, who's willing to walk the contract through with the seller, okay? How do I know this isn't a scam? Guys, I saw this in the Q&A, right? Somebody asked, is having a website is important? Yes, it is, 100%. Having testimonials is important, just like Elijah said. If you don't have any, edify someone who does. Having a website is important. Having a business card is important. Having a logo is important. Having a business email is important. Branding is important. I tell any seller, look, if you think I'm a scam, go for it and add me on Facebook right now. You can see me. I have kids. I have my son. I have my wife. Like, what's up? I'm a real person. I'm just trying to help you. You see what I'm saying? So guys, you can diffuse that situation by being legitimate, by being authentic, and by putting yourself into a place where you are easily accessible and somebody can Google your name. You can literally Google Quentin Flores right now. You'll see tons of deals that I've done, podcasts that I've been on, a YouTube channel, a bunch of things. Start creating your credibility. If not, carry a credibility kit with you. These are the families that I've helped. These are the deals that I've done, okay? I'm not ready yet. It's happening way too fast. Well, look, Mr. Seller, we operate quickly. We really do, all right? And at the same time, we understand this is a fast process. But let me tell you this. I can make this fast for you and comfortable at the same time. Then you edify the process of selling a home. For a lot of people, going too fast is signing the contract, right? So remember to edify the process. Let them know exactly what it is that you're going to be doing, okay? Because ultimately it boils down to your service. Your service is going to make people comfortable. If they're not comfortable, they're not on your team. Remember that. Put them right in front of you and bring them to your side. Put your arm around them and say, look at this house over here. man, how can we get this thing done together? Us, we, as a team. You and your sellers are a team, guys. It's not just you making money, and that's where a lot of you guys mess up. You and your sellers are on the same side. You got to make this happen, okay? I'd like to run this contract by my attorney first. All good. Look, if your attorney has any questions, this is my direct line. You have to diffuse that by being confident. Some of you guys get scared the moment that an attorney or a lawyer or some sort of legal presence is brought into the equation. You need to be confident the entire time. So I need my attorney to look over this. Oh, okay. Well, look, how about this? You give your attorney my number as well. Have them call me, and I will go for it and walk them through the entire process the same way I was going to walk you through it as well. If anything, we can all meet. I'll even go to your attorney's office and sign the contract. This does come with massive confidence. This business is all about confidence. And you're in this business, like Aaron said, you got to put on your CEO face, right? You got to put on the CEO mask. If you don't got that, you're going to fail tremendously. I answer every single call that I am ever on with confidence because I know where I am and I know where I stand, okay? My friend is a realtor, and she said it was worth X times more, but the tax assessment says it's worth more than your offer. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. Look, how about this? Let me go for it and challenge what your realtor is telling you, okay? How many people here use PropStream? How many people use PropStream? Drop it in the comments that you're a PropStream user. Love PropStream. So PropStream just got done doing this really awesome thing where you can legit download a professional report that is a CMA of that person's current property. Anytime I'm comping a property, most people go off of ARV, which is great. I do too. I do cash sales and everything, right? But for as-is commitment, when I'm buying a property as is, I am literally only going to show this person comps in the area for houses that are selling cash. Tell you what, Mr. Seller, what's your email? I'm going to show you exactly the numbers that my company put up, okay? I will challenge that realtor, okay? If anything, they can even call me. We can have a conversation about it. Know that if you go that route and you don't know how to speak this with confidence, a realtor with 5-10 years experience will shred you to pieces because they know the game, okay? But guys, if you're going to position yourself in a way where you show them facts and statistics, guys, you're going to increase your close ratio to the T, okay? So remember that, guys. The takeaways in this, when it comes to crushing objections, it's about positioning yourself in a way where you are still in control, but you're also bringing service to the table, okay? At the end of the day, man, confidence breeds service, service brings dollars, dollars bring revenue, revenue creates businesses. You see what I'm saying? So guys, we have to be confident if we're going to be crushing these objections. Objections aren't there so that we crawl up into a ball and just straight up cry. They're there because we want to crush them. You see what I'm saying? So guys, that is my segment on crushing objections. Thank you guys so much. I love providing value. And like I said,
hey.
Okay.
Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yo, we just surpassed the 400 mark. We literally have right now over 400 people that are on this call getting value. And man, I got something I got to share with y'all because the amount of excitement that we have, y'all, is through the roof. Thank you all for supporting us. Thank you all for showing us love. I kid you not. Just a few weeks ago, there was no such thing as the 2020 Closers Olympics. There was no such thing. Keith comes up with this crazy idea. He takes it to Elijah. Elijah and Keith go at it, and they pass the joint to Q, and then they bring me in. This committee is formed. A brotherhood is created between us. Like, I can't say the words nicer than my guy Keith. He said, I will never look at you fellas the same again because of, but look at what's happened. And in a few short weeks, history is being created in our industry, y'all. And so to have over 400 people on this live right now, I even took a screenshot of it. I just put it on my Facebook right now. It's a beautiful thing, y'all, and I'm appreciative for all of the support that y'all have. With that said, we got a Q&A that's about to be litty in the city. It's about to be crazy, not lazy. All right. But before so make sure y'all stay here. I want y'all to make sure, like Rambo did with the ammunition where he had the bullets across his. I want y'all to go ahead and arm yourself up with questions, and I want you to shoot them at us, because we have answers for you. We've actually done this. Elijah, Keith, and Q have helped me in a major way, and they're going to be dropping some love for y'all. All right, so make sure that y'all load up on those questions, because we're about to run that Q&A. Now, before we do that, I got to do a quick pivot. Hopefully the guys don't hate me. I got to do a quick pivot, because listen, y'all, I got to share something with you. I need to make sure y'all are with me. All right. When we created this idea, when Keith and Elijah came together, and Q brought me in, when this idea was created, we had no intention other than providing value for people during one of the most difficult physical and economic time periods in our country's history, period, with a T at the end. That was the idea. Sports, the NBA had shut down, the NFL had shut down. There, people were in their homes, and it was like, what can we do? And by the way, people in our community are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, reaching out to leaders, spiritual leaders, other influencers, saying, hey, what do we do? When does the next shoe drop? What's going to happen? And so this idea was like, yo, what can we do to provide massive value for people and educate them without going out and saying, hey, here's a $25,000, $10,000, $5,000 course that you can come in and line our pockets, and you're only getting half the value. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to create something that was basically next to free, to be able to provide a value for everybody and then bring the community together. We had no idea. While we believed in the idea, we had no idea the response that we would get, y'all. We had no idea. Andrea, let's pivot real quick. I hope the guys don't get mad at me. Let's pivot. I need for you to bring that up. We had Andrea draw this up really quick, because this is some of the value that we were able to create from the Closers Olympics. I had no idea that from the Closers Olympics. Check this out, Q, Elijah, Keith, check this out. 15 verbal offers were made.
Come on,
over
y'all.
Crazy.
Let's go.
In potential profit. Escrow has already opened on multiple deals from the Closers Olympics. Escrow has already opened in multiple deals. And an entire next generation of closers has been inspired and created, y'all. An entire next generation. And so after the Closers Olympics, we figured this is just going to be like the Super Bowl of real estate. But what's happened is after this, y'all even saw in the comment section, people reaching out to Keith, to Elijah, to Q, to me. Hey, how can I get coaching? How can I get mentorship? How can I do this and that? And here's the reality. That's not where we make our money, y'all. That's not what we are about in essence and spirit. It's not. But the people have, you guys have continued to ask and ask and ask and ask. And so listen, we came together and we put something in the works for you because of all of the inquiries that we keep getting. All right. And basically what it is, it's a little bundle. It's a little bundle for you. All right. And basically what it is Dre, you want to bring in the next slide, something that we put together? It's a little bundle. All right. Now what it is you can access 20 hours of raw, uncut replay value within 24 hours of ordering the bundle. Okay. And by the way, y'all, what's up?
Is it cool if I want to mention a couple key pieces here, if that's cool with you? I want to mention just a couple cool pieces here, because what's so dope is, like I said, like I saw it. People were tagging us. We had people tagging with their offices, with the TV screens up. I see people with the whole offices coming together. People were writing down notes. People were taking, pages of notes. But the replay was only 3 days. So we're like, no, I want to replay. Can I get the replay? I'm like, oh, so this is why we put this together, right? So you guys are able to get 20 hours of all the raw footage. Everything, nothing's edited. You get it all locked in 24 hours. It's going to be all uploaded. You guys have it for the rest of your life. You share with all your acquisition guys. It's all locked in. Plus, you have the condensed highlight reel. Now, shout out to Aaron, because Aaron, You kind of help brought this to the table, and being that you're one of the younger guys in the team, right? You spoke to the younger version of yourself. What would have been the most amount of value we could give everybody? So yes, you're gonna get all the behind the scenes. You get the blooper. We have it all edited down. I mean, cut down so you don't have to watch 20 hours. But what you brought to the table, which I feel is gonna be the most valuable for not only acquisition guys, people who have their teams, they're going to be able to look at all the closes in different learning tabs. So this is very instructional. So you want to see about building rapport. You click on the build a rapport tab, you see all of our videos exactly to the minute mark of us building rapport. You want to see RJ Bates build urgency. You can see all the way we build urgency. If you want to watch the individual closers themselves, you don't want to watch all 20 hours, you can click on that one closer. You have it all locked in right there. This is going to be the most edutainment learning interactive course that's ever been there. This bundle package gives it all what you need, right? This is amazing. Break down the rest for them.
Yeah, bro. So this is one of the things that I'm pretty excited about. The condensed replay training breakdown, right? This joint, so it's going to be broken down into like modules. So there's different aspects of a close and negotiation that it's one thing to be able to see it. It's another thing to have the professional that's actually saying, pause. Did you notice what was done right here? Almost like an ESPN replay sort of joint that allows you to say, oh, okay, got you. Slow-mo version, as it were. Break it down, and then now you can actually utilize this for your acquisition people. You can utilize it for your disposition people, right? There's some really cool things in the behind the scenes, the making of it, that's really exciting, that a lot of people want to know about. This is probably one of the most controversial events that's hit the real estate spaces in the 2020, to be honest. And a lot of people have questions. They want to know, so we do got some highlights and behind the scenes, some bloopers and items like that people have been asking us questions about. We just figured that this would probably be the best way to reach as many people as possible and still be able to benefit them while answering all the questions, and something that they can utilize for their people as well. In addition to that, there's going to be an actual sales training workshop. That workshop is going to actually be like drills almost, that's going to allow you to instill in your mind, in your heart, these duplicatable principles and strategies, methods that you can actually teach to your people. It's one thing to be talented. It's one thing to be gifted, y'all. It's a whole nother thing to actually have a process, a system of sales that you can utilize in duplicating to other people. You can't just say, make them laugh, build rapport. There has to be a way that you can actually do that. And that whenever you purchase this, you're going to be able to get 25% off of that. In addition to the Closer's Guide 2.0, this right here, a lot of time and effort was put into it to be able to help you actually have a step-by-step on your closing process. A lot of people have. And now here's the thing, y'all. This is stuff that people have asked for. We just prepared it in a way that allows you to actually utilize it and consume it in a way that's actually going to benefit you, all right? All of that in addition to the actual raw content. And the reason why we wanted to leave the raw content that you're going to get access to, that's over 20 hours. The reason why, because we already anticipated that some people say, okay, you already have the condensed replay. You already have the training breakdown with the condensed replay. You have the modules that break down the closers analysis and feedback and the highlights and behind the scenes. Why also give the raw uncut content? The reason why, y'all, is because we know there are certain aspects, there's certain nuances of the event that you want to see and fast forward to compare and reference your notes. You can utilize that for training yourself, but also for your acquisition people, for your disposition people. And the reason why I keep saying disposition, and a lot of people have asked me like, hey, can I use this for my sales? Even though it wasn't necessarily a disposition, style event, is because the principles that you're utilizing in rapport, the principles that you learn from Diddy in anchoring, the principles can be utilized for buyers. They can be utilized for your VAs. They can be utilized in every aspect of the sale, of the close, of the transaction. All of this, y'all, for $497. So here's the beautiful thing. Here's the beautiful thing. And guys, I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you. We're doing this because people keep asking. I can't emphasize that enough. Elijah threw this out there, and I was like, why not, man? Let's go ahead and hit him with a bonus. Elijah, for the first 10 people that purchased this, you said, hey, let's do something special for the people. For the first 10, what do we got? What do we got?
No, we opened it to 15. We opened it to 15. So the first 15 people, I already got Miguel down on one. All right, you got the first 15 people who absolutely get the Close Olympics bundle package. First 15, we're the 4 horsemen, Quentin, Aaron, Real Estate Diddy, the Fire Damage King. We're going to do exclusive Zoom call training, sales strategy training in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're all you 15, we're all going to hop on a Zoom call. You're going to do an hour sales strategy session to make sure you're implementing the techniques we hear. We're going to do some live role playing with you guys right there. You're going to be able to see, I mean, some of us charge $700-800 an hour just for one-on-one sessions. You can get all 4 of us locked in for the first 15 people. So make sure you guys go right now. Go hit it up right now. So while we lock in this 15 people, we'll be notifying you. We'll notify you once if you're one of the 15 people. So don't be the 16th person and ask, hey, did I make it? Be the 15th person. Go right now. Go knock it out.
Yeah. So and check this out. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. So the reason why we couldn't do more than that, we couldn't do more than that is because it has to be an intimate thing, right? So we give away so much value for free. The event was $97, all right? And so you got to understand, to go back through 20 plus hours, all right, and edit all of that, and then create a module, a system that allows you to say, okay, I want to look at rapport, all right, I want to look at closing, I want to look at price anchoring. That's literally taking days and days and days of effort that we have to put into that. So we didn't want to just say, okay, we're gonna go ahead and you know what I mean, throw together something sloppy for y'all. We want to give y'all the best of the best. All right.
And at the end of the day, understand what this is. I mean, I've been doing sales for over 20 years. You don't create habits, you emulate habits. For you being able to be a fly on the wall and look at it, to be on game day was super valuable, but it is 20 long hours. I mean, the judges were passing out, let alone you. I mean, you guys clicking on things, phone calls coming in. To be able to go and watch this Real Estate Diddy himself, look at each aspect of him closing his deals. Look at myself, went through 3 rounds, see all the techniques I did. Then look at each person's urgency. If you just click on the urgency button and be able to see 8 to 9 different techniques of how you can increase urgency. Yes, it's valuable for you, but what about for your acquisition team who didn't get to this? This is the ultimate sales training because you get to see mastery at its best. So yeah, sure, you guys paid $97. It's valuable. You got a chance to see it. But if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's why we like you. This is not just some regular content where you guys are just watching us talk about theory. You saw 12 of the top closers put their techniques into motion. You saw over 15 potential offers are going to be accepted. Escrow's already open. Over $500,000 of deals were closed of your guys' deals. Now, some of you guys didn't put any deals in. Some of you guys didn't submit the leads. And some of you guys are questioning, why should I pay more money to see you guys close when I already seen this up front? The reason why you want to do this is because you are capturing the exact process, exact wording, exact structuring. How much pauses should you have before you move on to the next section? You can't read that in a course. By you watching us do it and not have to fast forward for hours at a time is extremely valuable. You guys know this is real estate. How much do you make with one deal? So it's a fraction of the cost to be able to not only close yourself, to close other people. So we want to make sure we add as much value as possible for the family. We want to make sure you guys understand of why this is going to be so valuable. I'm excited for it. I was watching back. If you watch RJ and Steve change their reposts, you can tell that they're fans of the sport. They're fans of the sport. We want to give value. However, there's something else somebody else wanted to have, right? They want to talk about the queen closers, right? Why don't you let them know a little bit about the queen closers, Aaron?
All right, so check this out. As soon as we dropped the king closer joint, people were like, what about the ladies? What about the ladies? They want to be represented as well. They want to be heard. And here's the thing. We had already anticipated this. We already had a strategy to get them in the game. All right. And I said this on my live some time ago. The women don't need an event to be edified or to be heard. The women are respected by real ones in the industry. However, this event will actually shed light on the fact that let me say something controversial real quick. I think that the ladies actually have an advantage, and you're actually gonna see even more sales techniques that it's more difficult for all of us men to actually implement. And so it is going to, in a major way, shed light on the ladies and everything that they bring to the table, yo. So I want to know, what ladies do y'all think are going to qualify for queen closers and come and crush the game? So, I want to know, you're the next queen closer. Elijah, what's that?
Keith was about to say something.
I was about to say, don't sleep on the ladies, man. I got an acquisition manager by the name of Ashley. This week alone, no BS, she got 6 deals locked up, and she's a lady. Don't sleep on the ladies, because the thing about it is, most women naturally got great tonality, and they can connect with the seller. Don't sleep on the ladies, man, and that's the exact reason why we want to put on the queen closers. We want to show who is the best, not just, king closers, but what about the ladies, man? Let's see who's the queen closers, and maybe we even let the queens go against the kings and see who the best closer.
And that's what I'm talking about. What's so dope is that, like I said, now you already see a whole list. Nehan, Ashley, Amber, Sonia, Cassie. There's so many queens in this game that don't get the righteous props, and that's about to stop. All right, because it's one thing to just be a lady closing. Sister Shanika, you have people from all walks of life. We're able to bring the best talent to the table. We want to make sure they're getting the proper knowledge. Shout out to Jennifer. She's going to be helping run and make sure the integrators getting things locked in. So, how to apply for this thing? All right, so please send an email with the following requirements to closerolympics@gmail. Make sure if you have a lady who's not on here that you want to see part of the queen closer, the queen closers, make sure they do exactly this: full name, what markets are they currently operating in, why do they want to be the next queen closer, and then attach a video with the closing skills, meaning they're role playing, they're on a sales call, they're on a sales appointment. We want to see they ain't new to this, but they're true to this, all right? And we are going to be qualifying them. We have the exact dates. We want to make sure everybody, we said we're going to release the exact dates here, so everyone has a chance to know when the queen closer is going down. And this is going to make history, because in real estate, in sales in general, ladies do better than guys, all right? So let's be very clear about that, as Keith just stated. And it's so dope to see that they're one of the most slept on beneficial factors in this game, and now they're about to get their righteous due. So the official date is going to be the weekend of October 17th. The weekend of October 17th. Save the dates now, October 17th. Make sure you tag your people. Make sure you let them know we are going to be doing tryouts. We are going to be very betting them. And we're only, as you know, we're only going to bring the best closers in the country for your guys' value, learning, entertainment. Make sure it's as edutaining as possible. Woo!
Yep, absolutely. So with that said, listen, y'all. There is no pressure on you to feel like if you're on this call right now to be on the queen closers. You don't have to be a whole king closer, right? There's no pressure on you, but I know for a fact there are individuals who are in here right now who is speaking to their spirit. They got that spirit of competition, and they're like, yo, I want it. Absolutely. Chris asked a good question. Are there going to be female judges? Yes. We don't feel like it's right for the women to have men judging them. We want women who are actually judging them. We want it to be a women's event, all in all, and we want them to be represented, to feel heard. and to put on an incredible show for everybody. So more details to come. Make sure y'all take a picture of this information. Let's hop into our Q&A.
Let's
All right.
get it. Let's get it.
So I'm gonna facilitate this bad boy with our Q&A. Let's go ahead and bring up our speakers who dropped value. All right. So guys, I said that I wanted y'all to drop questions in the question box, Q&A box, because I want to answer them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to facilitate the conversation between you. I'm your mediator. I'm representing you in the audience. And we're going to be asking our closers some questions that y'all have in regards to negotiation.
Let's get it.
We're going to make this bad boy happen. All right. So let's run it. Y'all guys ready?
Let's go.
What we got up first?
All right. So first question is from Brock Johnson. What lists have y'all seen the most success in when it comes to negotiation? And does that matter when it comes to negotiation and sales?
I can take that real quick if you don't mind.
Right
now, the absolute best list that's been hitting for us right now, currently today, has been an absentee list, and also it's been vacant property list. Think about it. An absentee list, it's a lot of landlords not getting paid right now. It's a lot of landlords before COVID-19 wasn't getting paid. So landlords are very much on the edge of their seat, and they just sick of everything right now. Now, let's get to the vacant part of it. Who wants to deal with a property that's vacant right now with all this going on? There's 40 million people unemployed. So just really think about that. Absentee and vacant lists been the two hottest lists right now. So I would definitely advise everybody to definitely pick up those lists. And don't forget to stack the lists up. You may save yourself some money too.
Yeah, I got one that's been definitely hidden for quite some time, and I know for a fact it's hitting even stronger now. It's absentee senior list, right, with low FICOs, 30% equity that has property taxes. All right, so it's a multiple pain point list. And say
that one more time, Elijah. You just hit us with a couple jabs, quick.
I'm gonna and I put in the chat side. So it's absentee senior list, low FICOs, 30% or more equity that has property liens. That's a multiple pain point list that you hit those, you get somebody in that play. They're out of state, they're kind of old, they don't want to deal with it. The credit's already messed up. There's enough equity to play ball, and there's back taxes. So don't tell me there ain't no problems. All right, so that is definitely one that was been hitting heavy for us.
I love it.
I think that all of those lists are badass too. Like straight up, almost every single point that Elijah and Keith hit is totally on point. I'm gonna show you guys real fast. Actually, let me take the screen for a second. This is my best list, and I'm gonna go forward and give this to you guys. This is some shit that I teach my students that pay $5K for this type of shit, and I'm just gonna drop it, man. So this is my favorite list to do, right? So for a lot of you guys that don't know this program, this is called REI Sift. I'm gonna click on advanced filters. I have 28 different lists that are in this program. I'm gonna switch this from 2 or more. I want 2-stack. I mark it specifically to 2-stack. My foundation on a 2-stack is always high equity. Now here is where I'll go forward and clean my data. I want an absentee property. I want to make sure that the vacant address isn't vacant. I mean, the mailing address isn't vacant. And then the vacant property, yes, boom. At that point, I only want my clean data to show here. And I have multiple lists here. There's 990. This is my best list. So here, you'll look at this guy, Valentin Valdez. This is his mailing address. It's not vacant. If I sent this guy a letter, he's there. This thing checks the vacancy for me. This property is vacant though. And he's on 5 different lists. I've already skip traced his phone number. If you guys can call him and close him for me, hell yeah. This is a vacant, high equity, low income, and a liens list that I pulled from PropStream. And my people drove for dollars just to make sure the guy wasn't there and then put it into our system. This has been my highest converting list, guys. 2-stack. Absentee, yes. Vacant mailing, no. Vacant property, yes. 2-stack or more. That's my list.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. All right, so it sounds like everybody got that. Here's our next question. This one comes in from an anonymous attendee, and they say, what closing questions do you ask to move forward with the agreement being signed, or to confirm that the offer indeed works for them? So I'm gonna read that again, just so y'all have that. What closing questions do you ask to move forward with the agreement being signed, or to confirm that the offer indeed works for them? So it sounds like you've already made the offer, fellas. You've already made the offer. What follow-up question do you ask to say, yo, are we doing this? Like what's your closing question?
Yo,
So
Keith,
I'll let Elijah go.
tell me yours, Keith. No, I'm about to sound yours, so do yours.
So basically we saying if they already agreed to the price.
Yeah. Well, no. She's saying what the attendee is asking is, what question are you asking to move forward with the agreement, or to confirm that the price does work for them? So they haven't agreed to the price yet.
So if I throw that price out there, right? So let's say that, it's a couple different situations or ways you can handle this. So one of the questions I always ask the seller once I throw out that price, first of all, every price got to get confirmed. It got to get confirmed by another partner. I don't care if you can do the price, or even if you tell them you can do the price, still use the double confirm on them. So I know we just agreed on the 80,000. Let me ask you this. I still got to double confirm that with my partners. I want to make sure we get it approved. But before I go back into the finance department, let me ask you this. These guys are very serious. I'm the relationship guy in the company. They're more about numbers. They're looking at multiple properties. But it's the reason why I'm speaking to you today. If I can get my partner to agree on this price, let me ask you this. Would you say you're ready to get the process started? Boom. They're going to say, yeah. And then I'm going to say this. Hey, quick thing. While I'm going into the finance department, I want you to pull up your email. I'm going to send you over this company commitment right quick. I want you to know a little bit more about our company and the service that we provide. But let me go back in the finance department real quick. But guess what? Let me ask you this. If the guys absolutely agree with what we already agree with, what would be one of the reasons that we wouldn't get it started? I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So you got to throw
that's almost a version of going negative. It's almost like going negative, bro. I like that. Why wouldn't we? Is there any reason why we wouldn't, right? Something like that?
Right. And instead of asking, could they get the process started? You can even go straight to that. If I can get my partners to agree on the 80,000 that we both disagreed on, and I'm glad we're on the same page, it absolutely make me happy. If I go, I need to double confirm it with my partners in the finance department. But before I walk in here, let me ask you this. If these guys are on the same page with us as well with the 80,000, what would you say is one of the reasons that we wouldn't be able to get it done today? You know what I mean? You can ask them, could we get it done? Or ask them, what's one of the reasons we couldn't get it done? So that way you absolutely get them to talk and you know exactly what's going on. So guess what? Say you go down to agreement real quick with them and they still don't want to sign. Remember, before you got into the property condition, you should already ask them, is there any other decision makers? So if you go all the way down to agreement, and then you ask them, hey, how you feel about everything we just went over? Or is there any other questions that I can help you with today? If they still want to say, hey, you know what? I want to take it to such and such. You need to ask them, honestly, Mr. Seller. We're just having a conversation here. Honestly, how you feel about the price? They're going to tell you exactly how you feel about it. So I'm telling you. So that's really, just keep it simple. It's all about creating urgency, but make sure you position yourself, in the middle, that you're trying to help out both parties.
And, I'm telling you, I personally use that after peeping. I want to watch Keith's course and use some of the techniques and close on it. So I'm telling you, that works itself. Another one I seen that he used that I incorporated, because I think what the question was, they're asking, all right, if you gave the offer, how do you advance the offer to find out if they're going to say yes or no without making it sound awkward, right? And so Mr. Smith, we probably could be around 80 to 85,000 for the property. How does that make you feel? You see, by you asking that word, how does that make you feel? Not would that price work for you? Because would that price work for you? Now I'm with a yes or no. And most of the time it's a no. All right. So versus if I could be between 80 to 90,000, how does it make you feel? No, well, no's not a feeling, sir. So now I could do the dummy dumb technique. So now, It doesn't make me feel so well. Oh man, is it the stomach? What did you eat for lunch? Now I'm throwing it as a joke. You don't feel good about it. Now I'm bringing it back in. Once I ask her, how does that make you feel? Now I'm able. Well, I feel good about that. Well, how do we make you feel great? What do we need to make you feel great? You know, now we're going to feel, and now we're interweaving between personal and business. The more you can seamlessly weave between business and personal, you position yourself. If you only talk business, you're just a salesperson. If you're able to talk business and personal, now you're a trusted advisor. All right. So I'm going to keep it brief. I know we got more questions to go through, but I want to just give that little gem on the family. Shout out to Lloyd. Yo, hold up. Shout out to Lloyd. Not only is he copping the bundle right now, but my man, after watching the close of the Olympics, a man made $12,000 while doubling up watching the close of the Olympics. Double king salute.
My guy Lloyd.
Woo!
Salute.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, man. It's funny because I peep that some people, you know, that they don't fancy, they don't like seeing us sell. But the reality is, y'all gotta understand the amount of time and effort that we don't put into this. This is not where we make money, y'all. It's in the trenches. It's in the trenches.
I'm gonna say this.
And the fact that people are benefiting from it the way they are is insane, man.
For sure.
That's facts. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, you know, I'm just, you know, I remember dropping 20,000 before. You know what I mean? So, you know, I look at, you know, prices a little different when you drop 20,000 before.
Yeah.
You know, you start looking at it a little different, man. So
it's not the cost. People understand the cost of everything, but the value of nothing, right? And trust me, guys, 16 years in the game, the first decade, I didn't pay a penny for mentorships, for barely any marketing. But guess what I ended up paying? I thought it was coming up. I paid with my time. Now I'm 16 years in the game. I'm not a multi-millionaire yet because I thought I was getting ahead. It wasn't until about 6 years ago I started investing in high-level masterminds. I have coaches. I have consultants. I have high-level thinkers around me, and that's why I'm able to hit the numbers I'm able to hit.
Isn't Eric Thomas? Isn't Eric Thomas one of your mentors too?
ET is one of my personal mentors, and his business partner is the first person I pay over $10,000 a year just to him alone, just because I understand the value of having somebody at a high level who they're doing multiple millions of dollars that allow them to connect with me. And now my speaking is better, my connection is better, my integrity is better, my relationships are better. That is super valuable.
One of the first times I ever saw Elijah too was at an ET event. I didn't go, but I saw it on YouTube, which was amazing. But you know, I like, you know, it's crazy. A lot of people don't know this, you know, but I have a mentor, and his name is Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn taught me a lot about business. It's sad because he was my mentor, and I bought into his program after he died. You know, the Jim Rohn died like, I think in 2010, 2011, and I was late on that wagon, man. But there's this one quote from Jim Rohn that I'll always love, and the guy's the cheesiest mentor that you'll ever see. The dude clearly sells education, you know. He says it's not what the book costs, it's how much it'll cost you if you don't read it. And that's always stuck with me, man. I love books, you know, so investing time in yourself is amazing. To answer that question, though, that Aaron had just dropped, right? I like the RJ Bates approach. That's my favorite approach. I'll tell you what, my man, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to give you $80,000 in cash for your property, and we're going to drink a beer. How does that sound? That's my favorite way to convince somebody to do anything now. Oh, well, I don't drink beer. Well, how about this, my man? I go over there and I bring up some steaks and we throw them things on the barbecue and we go for it and have ourselves a real good time. Now can I put the contract in your hand so that I can put $80,000 cash in your pocket? That right there is my favorite approach. We're starting to implement it at my office. So I'll take RJ's lead on that one. What's up, my man?
All right, here's Julio Garcia. He says, maybe y'all can just answer this in 10 seconds because it's a little left field. It's I'm located in Chicago. Should I get my real estate license or should I move to a different market? In other words, be virtual.
I recommend, and listen, I almost got my license when I first started, and don't get me wrong, I highly recommend anybody who wants to get their license, feel free to. Chicago, they're doing the beta test to try to put the clamps on wholesalers. So you have one of two options. If you have the time and ability to, sure, get it. It doesn't hurt you to have it. However, If you don't have it, network with the realtor who does, right? I mean, there's many ways to peel an onion, right? Network with the realtor who does. And shout out to my guy, Thomas Fleming. He's out there in Chicago, fire damage family. So he has relationships. Make sure you have other people in your market. You don't have to just leave your market. Especially if you're new, I don't recommend you hopping out and start doing multiple markets until you master your backyard is my recommendation.
Yeah, I would say, man, like kind of what Elijah said, if you got the time, I would say make it work. If not, I mean, I would say go virtual. I wouldn't just say go virtual crazy, but if you don't got the time to get your license, I would definitely just probably pick a virtual market. You know what I mean? So you may want to pick somewhere close like Indianapolis or, you know, I don't know. I mean, you can go anywhere really, but I would personally, it all depends on your time, man. I mean, it's not really a right or wrong answer. It's all depending on the person and what kind of time that you got and what you're willing to go through. So if you're willing to stick down to get your license, then, hey, I would tell you go ahead and do it. If you're willing to go virtual, I would say go ahead and do it. It's not really a right or wrong answer. It's all about you.
Yep, 100%, 100%. All right, so Javier Fernandez, he says, what if I don't have any testimonials? I'm working on getting my first deal. So Elijah, you hit him with that testimonial joint. He's like, what if I don't have any?
Easy. Check it out. The sellers don't know that. You are asking for one. The fact that you have the courage to ask one, they assume you have a whole full wall full of them. They have never been once said, are you asking me for your testimonial? How many people do you have? They never asked me that. So you're letting them know, hey, part of my deal, if I do this, I'm going to need a testimonial letter once I deliver for you. After I give everything I said that I'm going to give to you, you feel so good that you made such a smart, wise, impeccable decision of doing business with me. I'm going to need a testimonial as part of the deal, okay? Does that sound like a fair deal? Fair enough? How does that make you feel? Right? So, I mean, see how I'm just mixing all the techniques together? And so don't worry about you not having testimonial. You can never done a deal. You're setting the expectations up front that that's what you're going to want from them once you deliver for them. And once they say yes, they should be to do business with you.
I love it. I love it. All right. Javier Fernandez, there you go right there from the man himself. Joel Fernandez says, this one's for Elijah. How do I learn about the personality test? Where do I go to get it?
All right. So shout out to ET. You guys go to etinspires.com. They have the flight assessment test, or you can always just Google DISC, D-I-S-C. Take the DISC assessment test, and you'll be able to learn and see the difference between the drivers, between the personal people. DISC. Check out the DISC test. It's an easy way to just keep yourself rolling on the personality side.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. How do you determine? Oh, let me see. Let me just make sure these questions are appropriate before I just read it off. Boom, 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 boom. All right. How do you determine how much you will purchase a property from a wholesaler versus the price you will sell the property to another wholesaler and buyer? That's applicable because that goes into how you're going to negotiate, right? Like that's a part of your negotiation. So how do y'all determine that?
Why don't you break that down for them, Aaron?
All right. So here's what I do. Things have changed with COVID, right? So I started hearing things that because pre-COVID, I know that in most areas and pockets in my market, I can buy 75 cents on the dollar. That means I take the ARV of a property. I'm always conservative on the ARV. I'm going to give you all the formula, then I'm just going to break it down, then we'll keep it moving. It's ARV times whatever percent model that you're doing. So right now, anywhere 65 to 70 cents on the dollar. I'll show you how you can find out which one you should do given your market. So it's ARV. I'll show you how to get that times 0.65 to 0.7 cents on the dollar minus liberal repairs minus aggressive profit is your offer. That's where you start with your offer. So let's break down what that means really quick. ARV, make sure you're conservative. All right. Scott Garcia, Elijah, can you put for Scott Garcia? He wants to know where to find the personality test again.
Yep.
In the comment section. So ARV, you can use Propelio, you can use PropStream, you can use your local MLS. Those are great ways to be able to find comps in any given area. Now, watch this. If you have a comp for 100,000, a comp for 115,000, and a comp for 130,000, which one would you go for? 9 out of 10 wholesalers are going to say, well, if I'm comping apples to apples, I'm going to go for the comp that sold for 130 because that's the top of the market. That means I can make the most amount of money by offering a little bit more to the seller. Easy peasy. Let's call it a day. Let's have fun, right? It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes the house that sold at the top of the market, y'all, is the anomaly. That's what broke the comp. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that that's what the comp is. In fact, most of your flippers are actually going to choose the comp in the middle. So use that as your ARV. And if you use that, that means you're going to have to negotiate a little bit lower. That's okay. You're getting right now free training on how to actually negotiate, right? All right. Then you're going to take liberal repairs. And what that means is don't try to be shiesty and using the formula that you're using to calculate repairs. Don't say, well, my formula says it could be 20, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it 10, and they'll know for themselves. You know what I mean? If you're calculating a repair to come to your offer, you're gonna want to go maybe $10,000 or $15,000 more because you can't go wrong then. You can't go wrong, right? But have a little bit of cushion, be liberal on your repairs, and then whenever it comes to calculating your profit, be as aggressive as you can so that you can price anchor as low as possible so that you're getting as much equity whenever you actually negotiate your deal. All right. And that's going to allow you room to actually move up and negotiate. So just to recap, average comp, not the highest comp, times liberal repair, times 65 to 70 cents. Oh, I have to cover that. How do you find out what percentile people are buying at? Call your local hard money lenders, y'all. Call 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Hey, what are y'all lending at? They are setting the pulse for your market. So average ARV times 0.65, 0.775, whatever it is your market is at, minus liberal repairs, minus aggressive profit for you equals your offer. All right. Let's go to our next question. Mr. Mario says. Boom,
well,
boom,
real
boom.
fast, Aaron, actually, there was a question that popped up on the screen. I really want to answer it because it's an Andrea question, if you don't mind. So,
okay, cool.
This said, who are your VAs and what exactly are your VAs doing? So, guys, I really think that this question is such a universal question because it really pertains to like how your business is structured. But, you know, I've gone through VAs, like I can't even tell you. My business last year around this time, we had a call center in the Philippines and we had a little over 15 to 16 agents that were on dialers filtering out through 40 plus employees that we had contracted. And it was a terrible experience. A lot of them weren't actually doing what we wanted them to do. A lot of the work wasn't being recorded. And what I love most about Andrea and her VAs is how well they've structured our company. Because her VAs, what do I look for in a VA? I look for innovation. Innovation is the most important thing. For a VA to go into your business and make you and show you that you can be operated better is when you know that you have VAs that are worth your time. So guys, go forward and reach out to Andrea Stakes, but this is exactly what she does for me in my business. And I'm going to show you guys my actual KPIs in my company. So they do all of my list tracking, and they also tell me how many lists that we're currently marketing to, how many text messages that we're sending out, how many leads are getting pushed to Podio, and they even tell me what my stats are for my dialers and who's doing the most. So guys, this is by week. And I even have a master for the month, for the entire month, what we were able to do. And this is a 20 contract month. So guys, you know, at the end of the day, whatever your VAs are doing needs to be positioned to what your business is doing. You need a cold caller, get a cold caller. You need somebody to run your KPIs and track your numbers, get somebody who does that. At the end of the day, a VA is in the eye of the beholder. I'm going to pass this to Elijah.
Yo, and another thing about Andrea and our whole team, the whole Integra freelancers, make sure you reach out to her. Put our email in the chat box. And listen, not only do they have callers, not only have people who can help you with your marketing, help you with your KPIs, track everything. Listen, I went through my share of bad VAs. Roosters in the background. It is horrible, all right? You got roosters, you got generators going off, listen, you want somebody who's going to bottom line it and have the exact responsibility to make sure things are being executed. And Andre is the truth. She's an integrator. She's extremely bright, extremely knowledgeable. And like you see, she's like, I can't wait to get her involved on the fire damage side because I see what she did for Quentin. I saw what she did for the close of the Olympics, y'all. So show her some love. Show us to get that in place.
So guys, we're going to swing this thing back around and close on an amazing note. If y'all don't mind, I take the lead on this. Y'all can trust me. Y'all know I goof around a lot. I can see Elijah like, oh, crap. Q was about to say something stupid. Look, man, at the end of the day,
really quick. I love you fellas. I gotta dip out. Guys, those of you in the audience, thank you to every single one of you that supported the 2020 Closers Olympics and came out and watched us do our thing. This is not going anywhere. So run and tell that, homeboy. Because this is history in the making. We love you guys for being here. You got a little bit more value that they're gonna drop on you. I love you guys and hope to see y'all soon.
Yes, we're gonna stay on and answer more of your questions because you guys have a bit more questions. So we're gonna answer some more questions for you guys here. But he had to take off, so I know we had this set up on that side. So let me see if we got that for you.
Hey, man, again, man, if y'all been getting value from this, we won't try to drop another whoa. We've been giving out great value to you guys. You guys need to take
getting value, man. I want to see you like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Like, whoa. And just remember, man, don't let a lot of information go over your head. Just take, you got to take that 1 or 2 things that you can implement right away. So that way you can turn your business up.
Like, whoa. Come on, man. I want to feel it.
Get those wolves. And honestly, guys, we want to make sure we have as much value to as many people here. So we're going to keep going through some of these questions. Or did you have anything else you wanted to mention to them before we keep going through this? So a lot of people asking about this recording. Yes, you guys are going to be able to get this recording. You guys are going to be able to get this recording. Like I said, we're going to email this out to people here. This one here, we just want to add as much value as we humanly possibly can. We want to make sure everybody sees what we're doing. Make sure you guys get the bundle. Like I said, the price will go up in the future here. We want to make sure we take care of you guys all first. Like I said, the link, the cop to join is in the comment section. But let's get back to these questions because we want to add value and we want to make sure every single person walks out of here with tremendous value. All right. So let's see. What's one of the best books or videos either of you guys seen on negotiations?
Never Split the Difference. That's one of the greatest books that I've ever read in my entire life. And People Over Profit. People Over Profit, Never Split the Difference. Both of those right there will position you in the craziest way, not just like in sales, guys, but in anything that you sell yourself on doing. Like, I stop myself now before I make a bad decision. I'm about to eat this big-ass burger, bro. And I'm like, oh, shit, never split the difference. I get half of it to my girl, dog. Boom, made a healthy choice. You know what I'm saying? Guys, that's what it's all about right there. Real life shit, man. Come on, let's be real.
Wow. A good book I read, definitely read Never Split the Difference. I mean, I'm a fan of the sport, so anytime I can get my hands on some new fire, I'm definitely with it. One of the Godfathers. Well, there's 2 good books. One, David Sandler's with Steve Chang's Mastered. You can't teach a kid how to ride a bike at a seminar. That's definitely fire. The second one, I list when I used to work at a regular call center back in the day. I'm going back like 15, 16 years old. I took this book and any script they gave me, I added tie downs on this book. I'll rewrite the script myself, right? It's Tom Hopkins, Mastering the Art of Selling. Tom Hopkins, Mastering the Art of Selling. That book right there was a game changer for me. Allowed me to really increase my sales skills. I mean, isn't it, doesn't it, couldn't it, shouldn't it, wouldn't it? It gives you all the tie downs, and you can put them on the front and do an inverted tie down. It blew my mind that with words, you can create wires. From conversations, you create cashier's checks. What you think, Keith?
I think I'm gonna go with 2 of them. 2 of my favorites is How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I'm going with The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. Those were 2 of the ones. They're pretty dope. I mean, of course, I heard about Sandler. I didn't even know about David Sandler until like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
I'm late to the party. So I just found out about my man Sandler. I'm actually currently reading the book that everybody talking about. I think it's a pretty dope book for sure. But it's a sleeper out there. It's called Objections by Jeb Blunt.
Objections.
The book is called Objections. The whole book is about objections.
The word blunt is in the title. I like it. Guys, straight up. Guys, I love that y'all are wanting to know our book recommendations. How about this? If you have a book recommendation, put that in the comment section. We want to see what you guys are reading. I'm always collecting books, guys. I got my library right behind me. My big head is blocking it. It's all good. But I want to see some of y'all suggestions. I'm trying to increase my books this year. I have a goal to read 100 books, so I really appreciate y'all to help, man. Like, it'd be awesome.
So that Science of Getting Rich, that's good. Mastery, all right. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, that's always good. Alchemist, just good. I really like some of these. Next question for us. Next question here. All right. Anonymous, and we'll start with you, Q, and we'll make it quick here. What's one of your favorite superheroes?
Wow. Dude, are you serious? That's such a crazy question, man. Right. Honestly, my favorite superhero is my son. My son saved my life, man. And honestly, like my whole life, I've always loved superheroes because I feel like, you know, each one has its own prerogative, right? Or its own like the way that they live or the way that the way that they came to be. And I've been obsessed with comic books my whole life. You know what I mean? My companies, I own Wakanda LLC. I own Captain America LLC. I own Infinity Gauntlet LLC. I own Thanos Destroys Hulk LLC. And it's funny because I put these things into LLCs because I like owning rental property. I put the LLC into each rental property. It's pretty funny when you drive by and you put it in Deal Machine and you see, holy crap, you know, and that's the ownership info that pops up. But that is my favorite, my superhero now, my real life superhero, and someone that I hope to create a comic book about if I were to buy the rights to one, is my son. My son saved my life. So
nice. Thank you for sharing. What about you, Keith?
I would say, man, honestly, you know, you made me think about it, man. I would say my father, man. And the reason why my father is my favorite superhero is because, you know, I didn't come from a two-parent household. And even though that me and my pops never lived together, he was always there like we did live together. So he was always a superhero in my book. He made a co-parenting situation work. My mother never put him on child support, so I always looked up to my father, man. So that was always my superhero for sure.
My one, I mean, my poppy, obviously, fought in World War II. He's the first person I saw even go and collect rents at an apartment, and he put me on the real estate. Like I didn't even know what real estate was, but that's in real life. On the fake world, in the fictional world, from X-Men, the black dude Bishop. I don't know if you guys remember Bishop, my guy. Anything you hit him with, he could take your superpower and hit you back with it. So I was like, yo, he can never be destroyed. He's such a dope comic guy because you hit him with, he can turn around and hit you back with. So that was one. I like that one. All right, so I got another question here for you guys. How are you guys determining the run? What's the best way to pull comps during COVID-19? How are you guys making adjustments for COVID-19 when you're running your comps?
So guys, the way I'm doing it is I'm not making any adjustments at all. 100%. I truly don't believe COVID-19 affected the real estate market whatsoever. There's two demographics that were affected: low income and high equity. That means that you make less than $30,000 a year, but you have a mortgage. That probably means that you got laid off, right? Just because you're losing your house does not mean that the entire market and the property values are going to drop and crash. I flipped 2 houses within the COVID-19 pandemic as it was happening, and we decided to make both of them rental properties just in case they were going to sit on the market. But in my market in San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas, those are my 3 primary markets, I see nothing changing whatsoever. And it looks like with everything that's been going on, it was easy for me to get a tenant. Both of my properties are cash flowing. So I honestly, keep it real, keep it 100. The market has not shifted yet. That is my humble opinion.
Hey, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I feel like the real estate market didn't shift. I feel like the cash buyer's mindset shifted.
Boom.
You know what I mean? So I think that people wanted something to happen that never really happened. just like Q said. I mean, it was just the cash buyers that shifted. Even my private money lenders been calling, like, seriously, like, hey, what y'all doing? We waiting on y'all now. But at first, everybody was just kind of relaxing. So we just requalified our buyers, man. Send out the email, have them submit a web form on our, in our Podio. Requalified all the buyers. We just asked them, what percentage of the ARV are you buying at right now? Do you have hard money? Do you got cash? Are you into lending right now? And, how quick are you looking to close? Just little questions like that, man. I don't feel like it haven't really been effective. I feel like people are really buying a lot right now, honestly. I mean, I just closed on the flip yesterday. So, I mean, I feel like everything's pretty much stabilized right now.
This month, man, we're a little over 120,000 in company revenue during a pandemic.
Let's go.
That's dope.
Honestly, I don't see anything different. This is exactly how it was for my company last year. Hopefully next month we're able to kick off $250,000 in assignment fees. And that's just what we do on the wholesale side. So what I've seen, guys, not much of a difference in major markets where it is very expensive to live. Remember that, high equity, low income. New York's expensive. Of course, New York's going to be affected by this, right? But I'm talking about the market on a nationwide level.
And so what I'm saying is this, all right? And I agree. I see where you both coming from. People are still buying, but like I said, I remember this happening similar during 08, during 07 run up. People are still buying. People are still buying because people still want. You have flips on the market. People are still moving. People still buying, but you saw the credit market start chase requirements just increase. They now the 700 FICO, 20% down. 20%. That's hard money almost, right? And a big factor I don't think a lot of people take into consideration, the federal government did that pause, that moratorium on you can't evict, or you can't foreclose on people. So we haven't really seen the real impact on the market. So still get your deals done.
It's still early.
But it's still early. But there is a rooster that's coming home to grow. You can't have 36 million people go unemployed and not have an effect of that. Big boxes are going out of businesses. Those are all those people working there. There's going to be an impact from that. So I would, for you guys making your offers, I would make an adjustment. Start looking at it. Don't bank on things being the way they are right now. Just anticipate things going down.
And I'll argue that actually, Elijah, back then when you guys went through the recession, you didn't have the technology that we have now. That's like saying, World War I and like a war that would happen right now would be exactly the same type of play because of the way World War I happened versus the way World War III would happen if we went into it today. You know what I mean? So I think what held a lot of people back in 2006, 2007 was the connection was not there yet. Facebook wasn't even invented fully yet. Things weren't incorporated to a point right now where we can totally become very connected with other people. I sought out more mentors on this. So the way I see it is when it comes to this business, a motivated seller was motivated to sell their property before and after a recession, regardless of whether or not it happened. So if you're good at finding people who are in situations that don't just want to sell, they need to sell, that's where data stacking comes in. That's where getting multiple lists come in. That's where having multiple softwares, multiple investments, multiple demographics, everything that we have today, the technology that we have today, whether you're using batch skip tracing, REI Sift, or anything, these things are now the norm, right?
I think that I'm going to say this. I'm going to make sure I get you, Keith. I think the topic is knowing that we're not saying is there motivated. So there's motivated sales regardless of what market we're in. The question was, how are you comping in relation to COVID-19? And I was just saying that, hey, if you think that the market's going to keep going up and up and up, I think you're going to get hit with this sort of reality once the foreclosures hit, once the evictions start hitting. We had 0%. The Feds dropped the interest rate down to 0%. Nobody's even talking about inflation. And I remember during last time, everybody thought it's going to go up forever and ever, and it's never going to be an issue. Don't get me wrong. People, what we do, there's always be motivated sellers, regardless of market. There'll always be cash buyers who want to buy. So we're going to be fine. However, if you comping on that, using that 70% formula, it's going to be real hard.
Yeah, it's a couple things. I definitely agree with both of you guys. I'm going to tell you why. One thing that, I know for sure is, the real estate market is not like the stock market. So from Elijah's point of view, I can understand that it's not going to just drop overnight. It's going to take time, for the real estate market to happen. Now, I do want to go back to Q's point of view. One thing that I do know for sure, and that everybody can agree on this, like you said, it wasn't no Facebook. It wasn't no Instagram. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be the coverage of this now. So if you just open your eyes up, even if something do happen, you're going to know how to maneuver through, because it's way too many. It's too much coverage now. And everybody want to be the recession guru and how to maneuver through it. And I'm just being real. Like, you know, I'm glad to know guys like Elijah. You know what I mean? I'm glad to know guys like Chris Bruce who done been through these times. I mean, just being honest, like, you know, Nick Ruiz and people like that. So I think that if you just keep your eyes open and connect and invest in yourself during these times, which is still going to be important, guess what? You're going to figure out a way to maneuver through it. So I think that's very, very important, man. Connect with the right people, man. Build relationships.
Hands down. Build relationships. Understand there's always going to be a rich person want to get richer, and there's always be someone who needs out the property regardless of the market. So, but one thing you can always swing the pendulum back in your favor, increase your sales skills. Because my sales skills helped me through the last recession, allowed me to stay 16 years in the game, and allow your boy to come in with second place in the closer Olympics, with the new guys, right? So let's talk about next question. Jeremiah asks, what do you say when a seller is not selling, but you want them to keep you in mind for the future, for the follow-up? What do you guys say for that?
Say again.
That's my favorites. That's one of my favorites, man. I just say, you know what, man, first and foremost, I'm going to pitch them, you know, multiple different offers. I'm going to pitch them the realtor option. I'm going to pitch them the subject to option, you know, if the cash offer don't work, right? So what I'd like to do is this. Hey, Mr. Seller, I totally understand that we couldn't get none done today. I do want to let you know again, it's not all about me just purchasing the property. I absolutely want you to get everything that you're looking to get. I know that didn't work today, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm still going to keep you in mind. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll be checking in with you within the next week or two just to see if you got it sold. So I just want to let you know that it's not just about me purchasing the property. It's more about you getting exactly what you want. Just keep the line of communication open at all times. That's very important.
Bro, hold up. Key, hold up. Okay, come back to it.
Yeah.
So what I like to say, Mrs. Klein, I get it. You're not sure you want to make a decision. All I ask is let me be the last. Let me get the last stance. Let me get the last stance is all I'm asking for. So do me a favor. Grab a pen and paper for me. I make him go and grab a pen and paper. Write down Elijah Rubin phone number, last dance, and do me a favor. Fold it in half. Put it on the fridge. I go and have them put it on the fridge for me. And if they're willing to walk through those steps, write your number down, put it on the fridge for you. What they're going to do, and if they do decide, and when they do decide to sell the property, they're going to see that on the fridge and remember that you told them to do something that most people never asked them to do. And that's how I help ensure I get my follow-ups, how they keep me in mind. I get the last dance, and then if I give them a call back later on, month, 2 months on my follow-up time in my podio, hey, are you ready for our last dance? Now we're talking about the dance. We're not really talking about selling me the house. We're joking around about selling me the last dance. That really works really well. That helps us lock in. That's really been valuable for us. You want to so I know Q, I know you got to take off, so me and Keith are gonna stick around for a little longer. We want to answer more of you guys' questions because we want to get as much value as possible. And like I said, just between him and I, we close hundreds of deals himself. We want to give you guys as much value. I know Wifey made a special meal for you over there. Was any party words to people before me and Keith get back to these questions?
My wife, man, she made shrimp gumbo, guys. She added lobster, my guy, from scratch. So I'm super excited. You know me, I ain't leaving, gotta go get that food. You know what I mean? But yo, man, straight up, if y'all got value from this entire thing that we just put on, this was free. you couldn't even imagine what the hell that we do when we charge for this shit, man. But straight up, if y'all got value, I want to see you guys drop "whoa" in the comments while I play this song, bro.
Should have seen them shining on the wrist. Now money ain't a problem. See my dough is like, pulled out my bankroll on y'all like, off the boot shrimp 210 like, wanna beat my blueprints. I'm like, had to hit the brakes on y'all like, Getting both on my block like, coming home within a half an hour like, friend like.
Sorry, guys. It's just a jam. We got to drop. How many woes are in there? Imagine if we did that at a real estate event. We had the entire crowd on the stage, bro. That is going to happen at Ground Zero 2.0. Watch out, man. Surface, baby. All right, Elijah, Keith, as always, brother, it's a pleasure. Guys, y'all need me for anything, hit me up. Follow my new Instagram, realestate_monster1. All right, so see you guys later. God bless y'all. Love y'all.
All right, love you.
Oh.
I get it.
All right, we're stay on here for another about 15, 20 minutes. I want to answer as many of these questions we want to get through. Me and Keith, we're going to run it for you. We're going to run it for you guys, all right? So, Keith, how do you take control of a verbally negotiated deal when the